Water is the softest and most yielding substance, yet nothing is better than water for overcoming the hard and rigid, because nothing can compete with it. Lao Tzu.
Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave.
Kickoff. One versus Kiwis.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Oh. Yes. Awesome.
Interesting.
Oh, sorry. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Hey,
Welcome.
howdy. Yeah, both of these teams made it through the round robin to get to this level. They both
Yeah.
played excellently all the way here, but now we are at the double elimination portion of this bracket. First
Yep.
to 2 until top 4. So it should be
Okay.
a very fun time.
Yeah, and I think definitely the expected winners of this match are going to be Swag 1. They went undefeated yesterday, did excellently, and Kiwis were struggling. I don't think they took a map, but never too late. They will be looking for that today.
So sorry about. Yeah, and Swag 1 is a roster that we're looking a lot at. Coached by Cointree, previous experience on Sheer, Cold, and Far Ace Society.
Yep.
Kaylee, amazing player with all of they do. And then Mummy Me as well, one of those players that we've seen a lot from, and hopefully we'll continue to see more of, as they've done an amazing job. Up here for map 1, we are going to go to Oasis. The map's chosen by today. First map on Control, always chosen by higher seed.
Yeah.
So, I believe that is Swag 1 out here choosing Oasis as their first map.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Like, what if they have any strategies cooked up here
Right
for
into it.
Oasis?
Should see some very exciting stuff. Swag 1 here and Kiwis, and we're going to start off on. Which one is this? I believe that is just.
It's University.
The big one with the hole in the middle.
Oh, ball. This should be interesting. I feel like in Overwatch 2 we haven't seen too much of it, right? Like, it has kind of a trouble confirming those
Like it's gonna
kills.
Open up. Kiwis opening up with a little bit of an interesting play here. Ball in the Farah. University, as I was. Ball in the Farah here to start us out, and then Swag 1 also adapting the flyer and the ball.
Yep, as Par pulling out on the Echo, but oh no, Sukuru's been booped off the map to start this out, and it looks like some nice tracking there from Par will be the end there for the Farah, and with that, Swag 1 gonna take a nice, quick, clean fight. Oh, a nice boot there, but Kaylee able to stay on the map, and again, Far able to find out the Farah, and with that, kind of just the kill potential for Kiwis is just gone, and Swag 1 just have a nice easy fight.
Here off on the edge, they have their own little area up against the ball. Worry about might get pooped off, but then there it is. Stays alive just barely with the help of that coach.
Mamimi is gonna go with the mines. Able to get 2 with that, and a 3rd for her trouble. Just for a nice team kill right there. Swag 1 have just been kind of playing really well, and just Kiwis aren't able to handle it as are in the spawn with the duplicate. Will be able to survive if they need to use it. And oh, the window also on the spawn doors. I think Swag1 may have overcooked this a little bit though, as the Baptiste will be going down and Par has to use the duplicate to survive, but Momimi is able to pick up the pieces and find a couple of pickoffs. Although Kiwis are still in this, they do still have a chance. Going to be able to now, with a couple of picks, walk forward, but with Subaru going down, no longer having that Junker Queen to walk in with, and oh, the EMP gets cancelled. I mean, you had to go for it. It's last fight, but nice shots from Kaylee. And that's Swag1 pretty cleanly taking the first round of Oasis.
Score 1-0. Ready for battle.
Okay. Swag1, nice clean round there on the first one, but Kiwis obviously have another chance here on Oasis. Now going to City Center. And they're gonna go for a very bizarre comp. I don't think this one's one that people are gonna say is very good, like a very good composition. However, the Hog, the Junkrat, the Soldier, a lot of individual playmaking available here, right? A single hook or a one-shot combo could just win a fight outright, but so on the other side could be a boot. And just another nice, clean fight here for Swag1. They are just playing excellently, especially Momimi on this ball. I said it didn't make too much, or it hasn't made too much sense for a lot of Overwatch 2. Ball just hasn't been getting played too much, but definitely Swag1 are making it work. And now Kiwis, they're gonna swap over the Mercy. Interesting change. Should be able to allow the Soldier to more easily deal with that Pharah. Should give them an easier time with that, whereas the Lucio, not going to be able to do too much with this comp. It's not like the Hog really needs to be spread around places. So, I don't mind this adaptation. I think it's quite good. They're also going to go over the Ashe, really committing to trying to deal with this, but Par is just walking in on the Junkrat, is able to find that one-shot combo. But in the back, Subaru, moving over to the point, was able to find out Zepturn. Going to be able to chunk down Momimi as well and secure some point presence, but the mines will be able to zone them off a little bit, force them over. And now with somewhat recent changes to Hog, that hook is just not going to be able to cut it out, but a nice right click will take out the tire, stop that from being a problem. But I mean, the flip has come over for Kiwis, so now they're just trying to hold on, stay alive. Another hook onto Par. This time, it is able to find the kill, and with that whole Hog, should be able to find Zepturn out a second time, and Kiwis finally able to find themselves on the board here. And Momimi still in, probably just gonna have to back up eventually. Most of their team is gone. Will bait out the Cole. I don't know if that was necessary there for Kara, but you know, they're able to still keep the point, partly because of that. And I'm liking this adaptation so far. It's allowed Subaru to really find value on this Roadhog, get things done as there another hook onto Par. And a res will come through, so Swag1 still in this fight. Although point presence and control is still over here for Kiwis, but I mean, there's a bad Mercy on the other side, finding pickoffs. And Subaru, no longer having the heal, will go down, and Swag1 back in control here. But Kiwis were able to get it up to a nice 59% here. So now, oh no, more antics here for Swag1, because Kaylee with the Mercy pocket is looking to run into the spawn room, and Keith gonna have to run away. Can't be staying too far in there. But again, it's Swag1 just winning it out. Subaru just kind of stuck here. And Kaylee, with the power of the damage boost, just able to get so much done.
Yeah, Kiwi's with a little bit more sign of life, though, running into this next one. But with only 10 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be brutal to see if anyone can get there. The stuff right at the spawn doors. One player manages to escape, but I doubt they can get to point in time, as only 3 seconds left. Everyone's just pressing Q for the fun of it, have a nice little brawl, and with that, Swag 1 takes it into round 2.
Yeah, but I do appreciate, I mean, Swag 1, I think it's pretty fair to say for most of that they were in control, but Kiwis made some adaptations and they were able to get 60% on that second point, showing they did improve. So if they come into this second map and they are able to improve even further upon their performance here on City Center, then I think they have a pretty decent chance to win that round out.
Yeah, I think Kiwis is really showing kind of that upward movement that you want to see. I think it maybe might have just taken them, that one map to warm up, that one map to kind of figure things out, get everything going. And then now that they seem a little bit more steady, I'm interested to see how they turn this around on that hybrid map.
Ooh, hybrid. I don't entirely remember, Loki. Can you run through the map real quick? Where do you think Kiwis should be taking us here to give themselves a better chance on hybrid?
Honestly, I really kind of want to see a little bit more Blizzard World stuff.
Okay,
I think Blizzard World really allows for a good mix of those different play styles. And it does seem like Kiwis, leans a little bit more on that dive, leans a little bit more on that brawl kind of style you've got going, which if you want to play a divey brawl, Blizzard World is the place to do it.
Yeah, and I think it's worth mentioning. I mean, Suguru was looking great for a minute there on the Roadhog, and Blizzard World first defense especially is pretty good for the Roadhog. I mean, unfortunately, Hog is just not the best anywhere right now, but of the places to play Hog, Blizzard World first, I feel like is a pretty good place to go with. So if they can get a solid defense with that Roadhog, then I think they can set themselves up for a good chance on Blizzard World.
Yeah, especially on hybrid. I don't really know too many good Hog maps that you want to go to. Blizzard World's probably one of the easiest ones.
Yeah.
Possibly something like Kings if you really just wanted to be funny with it. Play around that middle statue. But all in all, I think maybe something more like a Ramatra or a Sigma might help out that style that they want with a little bit more oomph to it.
Yeah. I don't know if Hog is the play, but Suguru was able to find some value on it, so not gonna knock it. It was working for them for a little bit there. Maybe some swap ups elsewhere will do them good though. I think another good thing is Swag 1 were getting quite a bit of value on the Echo the first point, and then later the Pharah, and I think Blizzard World, it's quite difficult to run at least the Pharah on. You can still make the Echo work, but at least shutting down one of those would be good, and I do believe Blizzard World has been picked.
Yeah, and Swag 1 already been shown to do a really, really good job of swinging those DPS out on different angles. And at least for, again, point 1 Blizzard World, there's ways that you can play to really cut down on those flank routes. And that is exactly where we're going, as you said.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting to see how that tank play and how that kind of DPS alongside the tank play adapts here to try to cut those off angles that Swag 1's been really relying on.
Yeah, and I think one thing to mention, and I'm talking about how Kiwis could be adapting to better shut down Swag 1, but not in any way to say Swag 1 is making mistakes that Kiwis should be punishing more. Swag 1's just playing excellently, which is the reason. I mean, Kiwis are struggling to deal with it because, Swag 1 is an excellent team. Their DPS and Mumimia on the ball has been putting in work, so will be quite rough for them to make those adaptations. But I do believe Kiwis can pull it back here on Blizzard World.
And this is the time to do it. It's a first to 2 double elimination. So if you're not finding it here, you're not going to be finding it at all
Yeah.
And as we get set up here, it does look like Swag One is once again on the Roadhog. Meanwhile, Kiwi is going for the Reinhardt, possibly?
Yeah, this is an interesting composition. The Rhine, Ana, Lucio. It's funny. I feel like I haven't seen Ana with Reinhardt really played since like, I want to say like the start of Owl Season 3 when there was a meta like this. But it's been a long time. I feel like Bap's been the predominant character, but Ana still works quite well with Reinhardt. And again, I was talking about it, and it allows more individual play. And Keith a little far up there will go down quite early, and that gives Kiwis a nice chance to push aggressively here. The pin comes through as well as...
Now it does look like Kiwi's just trying to run it through on the Reinhardt.
Yep. As Kiwi's moving over the point now. But, oh, Keith has just found 2 on the Junkrat. The J Sill putting in the work. And the rest of the team just kind of collapses from there. One of the problems with these brawl compositions is they are more reliant on their team, right? Like if a member of the ball comp falls, they're all pretty individualistic characters, so they'll be able to still find a way through. But like if your Ana dies, your Ryan doesn't have any sustain and will fall shortly after. Is now Kiwi's gonna make another run for it, just running after the life weaver. The dash has been expended, should be able to find them out, and there it is with the fire strike. But in the meantime, Swag One has been able to make work of it. I mean, Subaru is just simply trying as hard as they can over here, but Swag One in the meantime have been able to punish their team and rotate. And that's another problem with the Reinhardt. Can't really deal with these off angles, doesn't have too much utility to keep the team alive, so you really have to run quite a tight ship on that brawl composition to make it all work out. So now 2 minutes for Kiwis. They are building up to some of these ultimates. They have the nano boost available, as well as the shatter. So if they can catch out a few picks with the shatter, as well as maybe even just nano someone to keep them alive. But it will be a tire first. Nice break there by Kiwi's Junkrat. And oh, a little bit of hubris there maybe from me. He'll be punished. As oh my goodness, the life grip able to prevent the charge from finding anything, and the shatter goes awry. But still, there was that pick earlier by the Junkrat for Kiwis, and they are able to use both support ults to stay alive. And Suguru, with the advent of those support ults, will be able to move over to the point and has found a few pickoffs. But because the rest of the team wasn't really able to follow Suguru, Cassidy will go down. Able to find another tick though, and if Suguru can find the sim out, but able to just do so much damage, prevent Suguru from really walking up. And Kiwis will be staved off once more. They have 50 seconds. One more chance, really. They have the tire, but that's about it, so really gonna have to be on Kiwi's Junkrat to make something happen with that ultimate. So, one last chance, and I mean, they could make it work on the defense. They did find 2 ticks and some change, but I mean, when you're facing down, getting knocked down to the loser's bracket, I don't want to leave it down to a full hold. So, gonna be looking for something, but oh no, it's gone from bad to worse. The Junkrat, the one ultimate they had, off the table now. As that pickoff comes through, they are able to find a pick the other way though, stabilize a little bit, and now the Pharah coming back. That was a nice adaptation. No hit scan on the other side here for Swag One, and it will be the Pharah for Kiwis putting in the work. The tire will come through, do a little bit of damage, and it should just be a matter of time here. But Swag One invest, they commit the minefield, but with Par going down, it is just a matter of time. And Kiwi's able to take the first point here. Nice work from them. especially from Kaguya on the Pharah. He was able to put in the work. Built up a barrage in relatively low time. And now I like this for them. They have the Pharah relatively uncontested, just able to chunk in damage. And there's Kaylee going down again. Going to have to look out for this tire though, as it's surfing the rooftops looking for that Pharah, funnily enough. And maybe there it is. Gonna be able to find the Junkrat. Maybe not quite what it's looking for, but it's able to get the work done. And Momimi, who's moved over to the Bastion, is some kind of hit scan, almost finds out the Pharah. Not quite able to do it. And there's the Shatter onto Momimi. Gonna be able to find the pin as well. The Bastion going quite low. Will be found out. Nice little play there from Suguru. And now in the back, we've got Kaguya looking for the Junkrat, who's gone quite low, stuck in the corner. Not gonna be able to find anywhere to run. Going to just be able to clean up the rest of the scraps of Swag 1 in a moment here, as they also should have the advantage of the close spawns, but Kaguya not able to quite find Zepturn, who's just being a little bit of a nuisance here. And Momimi is able to find what she was looking for as this Bastion, finding out the Mercy, which also like is able to zone out the Pharah. Because now any damage you take is permanent. You have to be much more careful. So Momimi, oh, I'm seeing in the kill feed maybe a little bit of a DPS Mercy there onto Kaylee. All good. Happens the best. Oh my goodness, Kato is just going in, finds Keith as well. Just maybe the DPS Mercy was the adaptation Kiwis needed all along. This Kaguya going to the back, able to find 2. We'll go down for it though. Mines here for par onto the objective to try and secure some space and deny Kiwis from the point, as they will have to stay onto it. 11 seconds left. Have to stay on this point. A bit of a scrap going on here, but the Moira means more heals here for Kiwis. But as I say that, Mimibug goes down. Nice shot there from Keith to find that out. And it looks like it's just a matter of time. This Par is just beating Suguru to death here on the objective. And I mean, everyone's dead for Kiwis. Not much they can do about it. And Kiwis will be stopped with around 1 1/3 objectives taken. But I mean, it looked like for a minute there they were just going to be held to first. So could have been a lot worse from them. Nice job there, even getting through first. And I mean, of the maps in the game, if I'm looking to hold pretty early on for a hybrid, I mean, Blizzard World is it. I mean, that first point, I mean, we saw it last round, can be quite rough to even capture into first. And then once you've gotten the first point, getting to second, you can still be held that pretty close archway. And then you can hold that for a long time. So even if Kiwis give up first, they're still in it. It's not over till it's over, especially on Blizzard World. You're not gonna just get instantly rolled and then snowballed unless a lot goes wrong. So Kiwis staring getting knocked down, but it is important to mention, I mean, even if Kiwis do get knocked down, is Swag 1 take a nice little group photo. But even if Kiwis do get knocked down, it is just that. It's a double elimination bracket. You have a second chance. That one a little more stressful probably, as that is you are facing elimination. But at least for now, Kiwis have that cushion. So losing here isn't the worst. And Swag 1, said it before, they went undefeated yesterday. #1 seed team. So if you're Kiwis and you were really struggling yesterday, not at all the favorites today, I think you're fine, even just like showing that you can put somewhat of a dent in that #1 seed. As a nice coordinated dive here onto Kato. And I mean, that Sombra, I mean, the hack just makes it so difficult. Able to find out those pickoffs, just Momimi in the background, chunking in damage, finding hacks, dismantling Kiwis. It's just nice team play like this. why Swag 1 is such a good team. I mean, we saw Mumimi and Par just really quickly finding out that Ana and dealing with them. Now, Kato going to be swapping over the BAP. Doesn't want to have that happen again. Will have that shift and the mortality field if needed. And first point will be capped 5 minutes 30. And I mean, it's not looking great here for Kiwis. But that doesn't mean it's over, as I said. This point is quite good to hold on. But, I mean, Par moving forward on this Doomfist, just no fear, just running through. And I mean, this point is good to hold if you can hold those arches. Especially as they will be able to now. Finding those pickoffs. We'll be able to walk forward. And now, they have this archway, 4 minutes 50. But I like this pick from Par. The Reinhardt will be able to brawl this close by Sigma and try to make it harder for Kiwis to hold on. But, I mean, Par is just making so much space with this pin. And Suguru is just forced to back up. He's able to use the Flux, though, and find 2, make that 3 for their trouble. And with that, I mean, it looked kind of bad for a minute there. Swag 1 had the EMP. Par had that pin in the back that made a lot of space, but Kiwis hold on yet again. They've gotten it down to 4 minutes, and they're getting close to a couple ults here. They have the window now. They're close to the visor, and if they can just use 1 ult, maybe even 2, they'll have the Bob for the next fight. They'll just be able to keep it rolling, but Swag 1 have moved over to the high ground, using both support ults, get the sustain, get the damage from the high ground. But it is a window to try to respond from Kiwis, but I mean, just some nice dragging from Keith. And there's going to be no one to touch the cart. Swag 1 able to take a nice 2-0 here to start the day. Move on to the upper semis here in our Kunoichi Kickoff. Just nice work from them. Here, we'll get a nice little peek on Zepturn on the BAP here. Back bend. We'll find just some nice DPS here. Doing some work here on the BAP. And with that, I mean, just clean play there from Swag 1. Will be rewarded 2-0. So they'll move on. But again, not over for Kiwis. They will be going down to the lowest bracket. They will play another game where they will be, unfortunately, faced with the prospect of elimination. But I mean, they just had to play against the #1 seed. I mean, that's pretty rough. So whoever they play will be another team that lost. So that should be a better chance for them. They should be able to have a better time against whatever team that is. And Swag 1, moving on, will also face a team that's probably going to be a little closer in them to them in skill. But I mean, obviously Swag 1, very good team, was undefeated before, so they should probably be able to move on from that as well. But we'll have to just wait and see, I guess. So I think that's it for this game. We'll throw it to a break, and we'll have one of the losers brackets games whenever that's done.
Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yours. Yeah. 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 Memories. Memories. Yeah. Memories. Memories.
Welcome back to the Kunoichi Kickoff. I'm Fifi here, joined by Loki, my beautiful co-caster. And now we've got our first lower bracket game. We're going to have Marmory Kraken against Afterglow. It should be a good one. Rematch from before, I believe.
This one went to 3 maps the last time they played. This was their second to last pool play match for both teams. And so I would be surprised if we didn't see Afterglow really trying to come back out and get, that revenge match here against Kraken. Kraken not only took them all the way to 3 maps, but it was incredibly close the entire time. Every single fight was like a nail biter. So I could not be more excited to see these two teams play again.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see a grudge match, and especially because it's the lower bracket, right? Now this is everything on the line in this tournament. If you lose, you're done. You're going home. So that's it. So if Afterglow want to get their revenge, now is the time, because they need to if they want to stay in this tournament.
Yeah, it is win or go home. Looking at that Afterglow team, they do have a pretty stacked roster. Avery is their tank, and they've been playing insane throughout this entire match. Looking at that, not the roster. That's a different roster, but
all good, all good. We'll
no
pretend.
worries.
We'll pretend.
I'll give it to you vocally. They've got Bion. Bion's been playing DPS for them with Mickman as a secondary DPS. Those two have been insane, but the true heart and soul of this team that I've seen so far is Karo and Kiki in the backline there. Yesterday, they were a force to be reckoned with, would not step into the grave in any way possible. They stayed alive so well throughout the entire game. Meanwhile, over on Kraken, they've got Cute Things playing on tank, Axe and Unlucky Main on support, and then the star of the show for them, Ari and Nari, are their DPS. Nari especially yesterday was able to just put the team on their back and carry them through fight and time and time again. They're just an incredibly clutch player.
Yeah, and it should be fun to see again. I'm just remembering the Marmory's their announcement graphic, their player announcement graphic. They gave them all the Ari names, and then they had the roles the DPS were the Herdy Aris. So that was just funny to see. But I mean, this
really fun. Casting Ari and Nari on the DPS, we're Ari grabs whoever, and Nari's in the backline.
I will probably mess that up at some point.
One that I remembered, Nari's the one who plays Hanzo. They're the shooty McRudy with the bow, and meanwhile Ari likes to play up close and personal. So a little bit of a the differential in the play style.
Yeah, and first map today will be Nepal, a map these two teams did not play. I think it was Oasis last time, so it should be interesting to see what these teams are expecting to pull out. And it's interesting because I'm pretty sure the map pick goes to the higher seed, which I believe is Marmory's. So it's interesting that they didn't go to Oasis when they won that against Afterglow before.
Yeah, both of these teams I think lean more heavily onto the meta, and I believe that Kraken knows, hey, we've got the meta in our back pocket. We played that last night. We played that Ramatra Brawl yesterday, and it worked amazingly well. So let's go to a map where we can try to play more of that Ramatra, of that big brawl style, especially on Nepal. I think 2 of the 3 sites are just amazing for that. So I would not be surprised at all if we saw that Ramatra Brawl come out again.
Yeah, and also, I mean, especially on Shrine, the one that is pictured here on the screen, that Monkey Sombra Tracer, I expect to be seeing a good bit of that. You can also play Echo if you're feeling it, maybe even an Ashe. But
teams today have been feeling flyers so far. I mean, hey, early today we saw him take to the air. Why not take it again? Here, though, we're not going to be able to see Shrine. Going to be going to the Big Pit map. I'm going to be honest with you. I spend a lot of time coaching the game, and so most of the time I know the maps by what environmental hazards you have to deal with. And especially on this one, the big one is there's a giant pit on the side. So
Don't
watch
fall.
out. Yeah, I would not be surprised at all if we saw, yep, both Unlucky Main and Caro on that Lucio pick. Both of them leaned very heavily on it yesterday, especially going for those environmentals, and so I would not be surprised at all if we saw at least one of those a team fight.
Yeah. Interesting Ramatra for both sides, as you were saying. Pretty good on this point, but slight variance here, as we have a Hanzo versus Sojourn. So Hanzo obviously has more instant pick potential right out the gate, but Sojourn overall I think can be doing more damage.
Yeah, and the Mai is especially going to be so brutal. Once one of those walls gets up, it's so easy to collapse around, especially with something like a Sojourn backing you up.
Yeah, McMahon block is forced early. Should be able to walk in on that, and here they go. Afterglow will just be running in and just taking everyone down. I mean, Cute Thing just gets 4. Nice way to start off the series. Clean Ramatra gameplay for us.
Can't ever complain when you're getting 4, you know, especially with those giant cleaves that you bring to the table as Ramatra, and that's going to put them ahead in that ult charge as well, almost by 10%. Everyone across the board from as I was from Kraken, just so much farther ahead on that ult charge, which is going to be very, very fun to see if they can keep that snowballing forward.
Yeah, is now Afterglow. Take 2. Forces the block early, and a nice shot from McMahon there. We'll take out the Mei. Advantage here for Afterglow. Allows them into this fight. They're going to be able to walk forward, but oh no. McMahon's fallen off the map, and Caro has gone down. There is now a chance for Marmaris to stay in this, especially with the Baptiste going down. The healing just won't be there. A nice shot there from Bion, though, so they might be able to hold on here. And what's probably going to happen is they're going to just have to chill out, wait for their team to come back. But they do have the point, and that's what matters.
Honestly, though, Kraken's done a great job of pulling back after that first loss and putting Afterglow into a position where they just have to play for time mostly, just barely getting set up before the rest of Kraken can get here. And with that, already a huge shot onto Kiki!
Yeah, I mean, the window just going to double that damage, so even the body shot will just be a one-shot. And Cute Thing has been just putting in the work on this Ramatra. Is able to find 2, but will go down. Nice punish there from Afterglow, as we're going to get a pause.
I do say I want to compliment Avery on how quickly they were able to get their own Annihilation Field back up, so that they were able to just match it instantly the moment Cute Thing wanted to throw out one of their own. They were right there playing with them, and it ended up going their way from the looks of it, a pick on theirs as well as picking up Avery themselves.
Yeah.
Or as I was picking up Cute Thing themselves. So Avery able to get this a little bit more evened out.
Yeah, because I think Afterglow, I think there were even trades, but Afterglow are still going to have that Ramatra up, so even though a couple members have gone down for both sides, it should still be the advantage here to Afterglow, and especially like even if we get still a prolonged fight, Afterglow have the point. So if their Ramatra can just even anchor, even if they don't clean up the fight, they can just hold on to that point, as we are going to go right back into it. And there's our Ramatra we were talking about, although not able to sit on the point, and that will be Marmaris moving over to the point, getting the capture. But McMahon walking forward has this Blizzard and a window to gain some space, but a Blizzard the other way. Should be able to catch the Baptiste out. And there's the punish, as Cute Thing and Avery having a little fisticuffs on the side. And with that, Marmaris will be able to continue ticking up.
Yeah, that side platform is great to hold as a tank because it's got that Mega right there. But the issue is, if the other team can push forward enough to close you off on the rest of the team, there's not really anywhere to go. And if you've already taken the Mega, there's not going to be any help coming your way. Afterglow doing a great job of recognizing it there, and now they have the Blizzard ready.
Yeah, I feel bad for Cute Thing. The Blizzard comes through. The lamp will be able to keep them alive for a second, and a perfectly timed beat keeps them alive, but it's just instantly chunked through, and it doesn't matter. They're going to go down. Nice play there from Afterglow. Even though there was perfectly timed support from Marmaris, it just won't matter. And Nari will be able to find out Bion, but this should just be Afterglow moving forwards as the DPS have been funneled onto the objective. I mean, Nari is trying,
wait,
but
not
Avery...
too fast, not too fast. Oh, well, Annihilation Field, okay, never mind.
Yeah, but that is still good there for Marmaris, because in a fight they were losing, they are able to get out their Ramatra ultimate.
Well, I don't know how much longer they're going to be losing, as it's just this Avery on point. Window comes out, going to get taken away, but Avery really just playing for time here to wait while the rest of the team can get back.
So low.
Oh, Lucio, the movement!
Yeah, just barely able to stay out of range, but Marmary's not really able to do anything with that, so they're going to have to try again from the right side now. They have that Annihilation of their own. Will pop it through, looking for the Lucio. So slippery, able to make it through, but, I mean, with a nice boop there from Unlucky Main, the Ramatra's gone. All the rest of the pieces fall right behind them. And Marmary's doing an excellent job taking the first point.
Yeah, I think that was just a great job by Kraken, really pulling out all of the resources from Afterglow, knowing that, hey, Afterglow has to win this fight or they lose, so let's force them to invest all of their resources, build up our own, and then just runs back in with an amazing Sojourn ult, and having that Annihilation Field in their back pocket just makes it even more clean.
Yeah.
And so on to this next one, Kraken really taking the win right now through those big macro plays.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Afterglow, they just lost on that Ramatra, so this is a more open point. You could play one of those flyers or a sim as we might be seeing from Bion here, but they might just choose to stick it through with Ramatra.
I mean, there's a pretty good, kind of point composition with that sim.
Yeah.
Just set them up on point, set them down, turrets up, and it really only works if you manage to get there first and set up faster than anyone else. And it does look like Afterglow is going to be able to get there with that sim, so Kraken's going to have a very interesting time trying to break through onto this point.
Yeah, no. Unlucky Main. Poked out by Bion.
That is unlucky.
Yeah. Yeah, those orbs from Sim, they travel so much faster than they used to, and it's just can be a little surprising sometimes when all of a sudden your health is just all gone from those orbs. But a nice orb on the side of Nari will be doing a lot of damage, but without the Lucio to help speed them in here, they're just gonna have to kind of wait for that to come through. But the block force and a wall coming through, so much pressure on the Nickman, and they will go down for it. And now Cute Thing just gonna be able to walk through as it's Ari on the Mei. Finding out Bion this time. And a nice wall to separate Avery, just for the little bit of cleanup. But a little bit of a silver lining here for Afterglow. They did get the first point capture, so they're going to tick up to about 25%.
Yeah, not a bad thing at all. I want to, give a little bit of a hats off there to Cute Thing, positioning so well to just let their team pump in damage. Nari with that great little off angle meant that the moment it was ready, even without the Lucio speed, Cute Thing was able to fully capitalize on all of the opportunity there. And now with the point, Afterglow not willing to switch off the sim. That's because they've got the teleport.
Yeah, they're going to move over to the point really quickly, but they had to use their wall to make sure they didn't get contested, and now they can't do anything about this window, and they're just pumping through damage. Bion stuck in a corner. We'll go down. Cute Thing's just going to be able to walk on forward. And that is a quick destruction of Afterglow. And Marmaris is now 30% and counting.
Yeah, and this is the negative that you can see from playing that sim comp, is it's not the better comp on this site. It's just really nice to get that initial push. And if you lose it, you have to make the decision. Do you want to stay on the sim for this ultimate? Do you want to shift off and lose that charge? And every time that you don't switch off the sim is another fight where you're not playing at full strength. And here, Afterglow, they do have that somewhat charge, waiting for the teleporter now to try to find an entrance here. And this is going to be one of the last big fights they have. The teleporter got broke by the ice wall!
Yeah, but a nice wall coming through, separating Marmaris out, but the beat, they're all staying on the same side of the wall to get that shield, but Unlucky will still go down. Nice there from Bion, just able to build up that beam and just melt people down. The blizzard comes through. We'll be able to freeze a couple members, but a nice response there from Mickman to keep Afterglow in this. But I mean, the longer this goes, Marmaris is just going to keep ticking up percentage here on the point, as Ari looking for some dinks, but it's going to be Nari actually on it with the overclock, looking for more. Won't even need it, but we'll get it anyways, and it's just Avery on the point. And that was just a nice clean map there from Marmaris. Kraken, going to take Nepal 2 out.
Nari living up to the clutch player title they've had. When the world needed them most, they were there with an overclock in their back pocket, able to just beam down the team, hitting all of those headshots, kills 3 in that last fight. Never matters how many people you are down when you've got Nari in your back pocket, especially when they have an ult.
Yeah. I mean, just a beautiful overclock to seal the deal there for Marmori's Kraken, and up 1-0, looking for just securing this again, right? They beat Afterglow again, they beat Afterglow before, and they want to say, yeah, we can do that again. That wasn't a fluke. That was just, we are better.
Yeah, I really think that we're seeing Kraken lean on more of these big macro plays. We saw them winning with the pacing that first time of both ultimates and of the fights themselves. Then second time winning off of, that compositional value and knowing, hey, they're gonna stay on the sim. That means they have to take these big aggressive, kind of slow lumbering brawls. Let's just play on the site. We can throw Nari off on an angle, keep using these walls to take away any of the movement options they have. And I mean, you gotta keep giving hats off to the DPS players from Kraken here, as they're able to keep pulling in these plays that the rest of the team has set up.
Yeah, just really well played there from Armory's. Upside, though, for Afterglow, losing that, they now get to pick the map, and they're going to Blizzard World, which they did play against Kraken the last time, and they won that one 3-2. So confident they can reproduce that result, and this also should be a good map for them. I mean, they weren't able to really get that advantage in the Ramatra Brawl duel, but Blizzard World not really going to be favoring that character, so going to be able to spread their wings a little bit more and move over to probably a monkey composition.
Yeah, that's what we saw from both of these teams last time, was that monkey. And the replay of this last map, we saw Afterglow taking it all the way to point 3 in a very quick fashion before getting a little bit stalled there as Kraken was able to find their footing. Kraken, meanwhile, very much struggled to get through even point 1, point 2. They didn't really make it past Bridge, had a lot, or as I was, they made it just to that first point and weren't able to find it really any further. So incredibly tight map from both of these teams, and it's going to be really, really interesting to see how it comes down.
Yeah, I mean, it should be interesting because these teams just yesterday played against each other on this map.
Well,
now it
we get to see how quickly they adjust. How quickly can you learn?
Yeah, it's like kind of an adaptations battle, right? Like, who can fix their mistakes on this map faster, and really show that here today.
Well, looking at both of the teams, one of them is doesn't have any staff. Afterglow really just relying on the players themselves. Meanwhile, Kraken, a very long-standing team in this scene. They've got a huge staff, a huge org behind them. They've got Shen as their coach, and he's done amazing work with this team. We've seen Kraken pretty much get better and grow every single time they've had an outing. 13th in the first calling out here is Major, 9th in the second one, and since then they've only continued to get better.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we love to see, right? I mean, the point of these tournaments for women and people of marginalized genders is it gives people a space where they can grow without having to worry about harassment of any kind. And I mean, clearly Kraken able to do that, right? They've been together for a while now and able to get that improvement going.
I mean, Marmaris as a whole is such a growth-focused, community-focused org. They've been around for forever in esports terms, and I've worked with their org a couple different times. I've seen what they do. It really is one of the most positive spaces, and I think that does lead to these chemistry connections that you can have with these teams, where they've been standing for so long, where they really understand that macro. They know what everyone else on the team is going to do before it's even, set into comms. And so it allows these super quick macro plays. Here, though, both teams pulling up that Winston comp, pretty standard composition on either side, but it does look like Kraken actually wants to pull out the Moira, looking for a very aggressive push on this point A.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if they stick to that. They've got another 20 so seconds to swap off it, and yeah, I'm probably just gonna be seeing the break, the pretty
Oh, yeah,
standard
there's the break.
standard meta. But it's one thing I want to point out before this map begins is, I mean, Afterglow, team of really talented players, but I mean, here they are facing elimination. They have to figure it out here on Blizzard World.
Yeah, Kraken. Nari going to be looking for that first Widow shot. Can they find it? Nope. And as we see the unlucky main here, they're going to stay on that Brigitte, which I don't hate the Moira. You know, it means you just don't have a backline. The issue is, though, it means you're honest. No protection by themselves. This cute thing starting this off very quickly.
We're just going to poke out the monkey a little bit, force Avery to back up a little bit. And I love how smart Marmries are playing this. They first clear the monkey, then they clear the DPS on the right side, able to find Mickman out too because of it. And now they're just going to keep going. Bion, though, able to win the duel out and take Nari, but so low. Nari looking for it. Will be able to get away as Bion. So now just even up. Marmries, though, now moving over to the point. Looking for something, but nice nade there. And cute thing, an unlucky main will be going down. And nice stabilization there from Afterglow after a really nice start from Marmries.
Yeah, Nari there being such a hunter in the backline. Issue was, frontline wasn't super going their way. Avery never able to get to that support line in the back, which means that even though Nari had that great hunter position, they had some momentum going with them, no one was able to come with them and fully capitalize. And now with this stagger, they're going to be 4v5 for just a little bit longer. Afterglow here looking to take a quick fight.
Yep. But Bion has the pulse bomb, is able to get the stick. Just a nice, clean way to start the fight out. And with that, I mean, you don't have the Brig, so you can't really push up, because if you do, I mean, your Ana is just easy pickings for the Sombra Tracer. So, Marmori's just going to try to back up, but I mean, Afterglow do not want to allow that, trying to chase, but some nice damage there from Nari will force them to back up. Oh, but Avery...
It's pretty little lot where on defense they want to even be that first strike team, even now. But quick even back out from Avery might mean this can swing in the way pretty dang quick.
Yeah, but fortunately for them, just the monkey going down will respawn already, so they'll give 2 ticks. We'll try to come back into this. The EMP comes through, not able to find the pick. Nice nano onto the Brig to keep them alive, and Avery now going to move over to the point to try and keep that contested up. Nice sleep. But Mickman will be the first blood. Had that EMP. Really quite unfortunate. Rally coming through to try and keep the Ana alive, but Caro, it doesn't really matter when you've got like 5 people on the Ana. We'll just go down. Avery trying to battle this back, does have the primal, but I believe it's just them over here. Will pop it, still believes in this. Mickman comes back with the EMP, gets cute thing. Nari is really low, has to be careful of that primal. We'll be able to get the mini, but oh, so low. Gets the recall, goes down. Nice there from Mickman, but they have to stay on the point. Oh, just barely able to get the touch. And some nice support there. Mickman will be able to stay alive, and it was really close, but Afterglow able to hold on, and only a minute left here for Marmries.
Really close, 99.9% close after an amazing stall from Avery to keep it moving on. That primal, such good movement, keeps everyone alive. Kraken, though, not willing to say goodbye to this fight. They want to keep it going.
And there's the EMP. Avery is so low. Doesn't have the nano or primal to stay alive, but a nice hack there from Mickman. It was able to find out unlucky. Will trade their life for it, but now Avery is able to go into the back and get that Ana now that there's no Brig or Lucio to keep them alive. And with cute thing going down, it's again, I mean, these fights are so scrappy, and it looks like Afterglow is on the back foot, and then they just still are able to win it out. There's 15 seconds. Desperate straights here for Marmries.
Yeah, Nari has to find a way out of this so that they can get back in for this touch. Kraken not willing to let go of that last fight now means that they're going to be taking this entire fight in overtime. Nari is going to be able to find the touch for it. Oh no, Unlucky Main is gone.
Yeah, and the Pulse isn't able to find anything. No heroics on that one. Nari is so low, will fall. The monkey is gone. And just beautiful work here from Afterglow. I mean, it looked so bad. I mean, you pointed out 99.9. Oh, I really feel for Marmries here. Like, this point could just be so brutal, but to be 0.01 off of capturing it, I don't know the last time I saw something like that. But Marmries still do have a chance on this map. Blizzard World First is a pretty defender-sided map some of the time. So they do have another shot at this, and even if they don't win this, you're kind of like, that's okay. This was Afterglow's map pick, and we can just pick for third map and take them down there.
I mean, hey, they've got it to where Afterglow basically has to capture all of the point A. Even a little bit off the mark won't do it for them. Afterglow, though, yesterday able to get get point A in one fight, and we've seen how well they seem to understand it, how well they got that movement, how well they've got the stall after Avery once again 1v3'd it just by sheer will, keeping this point alive so that everyone could run back and grab it. I mean, I'm amazed by how you can have the movement, have the presence to not only keep the point on 99.9%, but also stay alive just long enough for everyone to come back in, take the fight through, and bait Kraken into this drawn out defender-sided point where they just keep throwing lives, keep throwing resources, keep throwing time, and at the end of the day, not able to find it through, as Kraken has pulled out a Junker Queen defense now as well, really throwing everything into this, kind of first fight, first point stall, and putting, just all of the resources they possibly can into this first fight.
Yeah, I mean, it should be interesting to see how this works, because going to be trying to look for that on a brig backline, trying to run onto them. I mean, that backline is so solid, so especially with Kara and Kiki.
Yeah, with the Junker Queen, I think you almost just have to play counter dive with it.
Yeah, maybe.
Try to blow up the Winston the moment they hit, cover all those different off angles that Vion's going to be looking for.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, they are able to run onto the on a brig. Nice catch out there. They see them trying to rotate, and they're like, no, you don't get that high ground for free. Run onto them. Nice pickoffs there from Cute Thing. The rest of the team in stride for Marmaries, and they will be able to hold on, and crucially, they don't give up that tick.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing that Kraken's looking here, is you want to catch him either in rotation, and if you can't catch him in rotation, you're looking to blow up the Winston the moment they hit. Just stack everyone on top of each other, use those Junker Queens, shields, those huge speed boosts that you get from Lucio. You want to see a 5 on Lucio at all times with this comp.
Yep, as nice dive there for Afterglow. Will find out the Lucio, and I mean, the rest of the pieces just fall. Just a beautifully executed dive there from Afterglow. Just 2 members left here for Marmaries. Not going to be able to make too much happen. And Afterglow just showing that they adapted super well after their game, even though they were the ones that won. They looked back and they were like, what could we do better at this? They get the full hold. They get the cap. I mean, just a few members left here to stall. Should be easy cleanup here for Afterglow. Oh my god, Bion sticks Nari on the Tracer. And that will be Afterglow taking us to a third map.
Yeah, I mean, Afterglow, it took them only one fight to find the way to kind of dismantle this Junker Queen comp. The moment they stray a little bit too far from each other, the moment they can't get onto you with that rotation, you can just dive in on the one exposed person, and once you've got one down, at that point on, it's just a numbers game, and they're able to cleave through the rest of this comp. Amazing play here from Cute Thing to once again keep it moving on. And now, going on to point 3, that's going to be Escort. Last time we saw it on Shimbali as the map pick from Kraken. I wouldn't be surprised if we just went right back.
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, they won last time, and I looked, it was a 3-1. So, I mean, Marmaries pretty decently won that one out. So, I mean, they have the map pick now. You won that one before. The only concern is that maybe Afterglow took a look after yesterday, and they have made adaptations, and they do know what to do in that one. But I think for Marmaries, you made it happen before. You need to be confident that you can just repeat that, do it again, close this series out, and keep going.
Yeah. I mean, this is the time to do it. It is going to be Shimbali once again. Second verse, same as the first. Apart from the first map, every map we're seeing today is the same as their match yesterday. And we saw how much that Afterglow was able to adapt and change going into Blizzard World, turning a 3-2 into an 0-1. Now it's going to be the chance of, can they adapt this Shimbali? The insane player, the note of the day on Shambali last time was Nari. Time and time again, they put the team on their back, stopped the point right at the last moment. They showed us what Avery did on this map, basically.
Yeah.
Able to just keep it, put the team on their back, keep the point going, keep everything exactly how it needed to be. Last time on Shambali, it was Nari doing that. So it's going to be interesting to see, can the adjustments be made from Afterglow to kind of, shove that clutch out of the way, shove that play out of the way, and able to get through more than just one site on Shambali.
Yeah, and it should also be interesting to see, I mean, what are these teams going to run here? Because I feel like Ramatra, a viable pick, Monkey, a viable pick, right? And I mean, clearly for Afterglow, it seems the Monkey is to their favor, and for Marmories, the Ramatra's to their favor. But I mean, you could also pull out some other wacky stuff if you're feeling it. You could play some ball. On my team in the past, we've played
That would be a
some
take.
Zarya Genji shenanigans on this map.
Hell of a take.
That's maybe more that my tank's is a bit of a Zarya fanatic, and I play a little too much Genji. But anyways, just the point is, Shambali, you can play a lot of different characters to your strength. So before we saw kind of on Nepal, we saw a test of who's the better brawl team. On Blizzard World, we saw a test of who's the better dive team, and now on Shambali, it's kind of a test of just who is better at your comfort picks.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a little bit lean back towards that brawl. But with Shambali, you want to know my favorite fact about Shambali?
What is your favorite fact about Shambali, Loki?
It's the exact same layout as Circuit Royale, just flipped.
Yeah,
Like
I can see it. I can see it.
It's the exact same. Like the geometry is different, the elevation is different, but the way the cart moves is actually exactly the same as Circuit
That's
Royale.
really funny.
It's flipped, and because of the aesthetic differences and the geometry differences and elevation differences, it feels just so completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can see the path being the same. It's just like, even feel-wise, like, totally different, right? Like on first point circuit, I mean, it's just a hellish sniper escape. But
Oh yeah.
on third point Shambali, it's not as bad for that.
Still
Oh my
got, you
God.
got some little areas, but it's a lot harder to set up that little sniper's nest like you can on Circuit. Here, though, both teams looking to pull out their Ramatra, and it does look like Kraken is going for a pretty similar hold as yesterday. They want to keep that cute thing up front, be that blocker for the team. Meanwhile, everyone else is going to kind of sit back either on cart or on that wall right there, act as that big off angle, especially looking to set Nari up here. Ari playing up with cute thing this time, because that's the big thing you got to worry about. Vion on the side.
Yeah, I mean, just excellent isolation there onto Bion. They just spot out that the Hanzo is a little too far from the rest of the team, and they're just gonna run it. Although Avery does find Unlucky Man, and the big disadvantage of this spawn hold is, I mean, the spawn advantage. So,
Yeah.
I mean, even though Marmories overwhelmingly win that, they're gonna probably have to back up here now that they're down that speed boost.
And it does look like that's going to be given that space, and it looks like Afterglow as well, trying to take another quick fight, get back before the other team's Lucio can come, and that's a support line gone.
Yep, and there it goes. Nari able to find out one pick onto Karo, but I mean, the flood of picks is going mostly for Afterglow. So they will be able to start pushing, but again, the reason you run this spawn hold, even if you instantly lose, it's okay, because you held the cart to the spawn. So you'll still be able to get another 2 fights maybe, and a minute already burned.
Not only do you have that minute off, you have the ult advantage onto your side as well. And it does look like Kraken, they're winning on the Dragons, they're winning on the Ice, they're winning on the Lucio ult as well. So that's a 3 in their favor. Avery, though, all the way up front, trying to play way in front of this cart.
Yep. As here it is, take number 2 for Afterglow. Will go down is Avery. And I mean, with that dragon, Marmory's just gonna run in off of that. Just identifying that as a nice trigger. The Ramatra's down, the dragon's going, and you just follow that in, and now Afterglow gonna be able to move forward. And I mean, this strategy, the spawn hold strategy, it's all about burning time. And now we're all the way down to 2 minutes, half the time already gone.
Yeah, Afterglow has been playing a super aggressive style. They've been playing to take these fights as fast as possible, as soon as possible, try to get their pace in their favor, which has been working great for them. Issue is, if you get a little bit too aggressive with it, it can mean you're so far away from your team that when the collapse from Kraken comes, no one can help you. And there, Avery getting a lesson in that.
Yeah, as here, everyone's looking for the pick on Ari. We'll be able to get the Blizzard out to stop people away, but Blizzard comes out the other way. We'll be able to get to the Frieza onto the Mei. Not be able to get punished, though, as Nani also finds out the Baptiste. The healing's gone. And Avery had that Annihilation, but no heals to back it up, and already down to 1 minute. Afterglow not been able to find anything.
Yeah, I think that Annihilation Fuel from Avery came out just a moment too late. Nari already had him set up, Ari as well with the amazing play up front to just keep everything off of Kraken. And by the time that Annihilation Field came out, there was almost 2 people dead and not being able to find a whole lot there. And now, cute thing, walls up. They've got their Annihilation Field themselves.
Yeah, just, again, finds the isolation onto Bion. Just a little too far from the rest of the team, will go down. I mean, the lamp only lasts so long. Cute thing, just beautiful play with the Ramattra ultimate. Although, a couple pickoffs going for Afterglow, so Marmori's going to have to back up, which means Afterglow will be able to get a little bit of space, a little bit of a foothold, but 30 seconds, and all the cards on the table, both teams here are facing elimination. It would be devastating for Afterglow to get full held.
Yeah, I think Kraken there honestly took that fight a little bit too fast and played it too well. Like, Afterglow just died too quickly, and so now there's another fight that they get to run into.
Yeah, and the only alts on board. Nari has that dragon again, but
Ari, no.
Ari thought that they could just live without using the block. Will pay for their hubris, and now this is Afterglow. They have a chance in this fight. Will be stopped by a window, though. Beat to come in so they can run through, and another nice pick there from Mickman. Cute Thing's just going to have to die on the cart. And it took a minute. It took quite a while. Afterglow, though, they're going to be able to get through a brutal first point on Shambali.
Yeah, and making about the same thing they did last time. We saw them last time cap in overtime. Again, second very same as the first. Now, though, Kraken set up with their own ults going into an Avery Annihilation Field. Great job by Afterglow to not overinvest in that fight. We see a lot of time teams when, they're getting close to that overtime, they're getting close to those final seconds, they like to just dump ults into it in a sphere of panic. Afterglow showing a huge amount of restraint there to set themselves up for the next point.
Yep. Afterglow, though, here they are set up. They have a lot of ultimates here to work with. They have that Blizzard and that Annihilation, especially, just 2 really powerful ultimates. Although if Avery isn't careful, I mean, it could just be a Blizzard that meets the Annihilation. But May's down for both sides. That Annihilation could just be a free win in this fight. And there they go. Avery running in. A nice boot, though, will be able to stave them off. And Cute Thing in the back, also popping an Annihilation. But it's a headshot from Nari that is putting them at an advantage in this fight, as we're just getting a little bit of a Ramattra block battle. But Nari oversteps. Avery able to punish them for that. Window will be able to stop Afterglow from pushing up too far and punishing too hard off of their advantage here. But now that that's down, they can walk forward. They have the DPS ultimates to go with. We'll see if they choose to pull the trigger. But it's a dragon from Nari first. Oh no, Bion's gone down. No overclock available, but a nice Blizzard and the wall will mean the Ramattra is frozen, goes down, but oh my goodness, everyone is frozen. That's a beautiful Blizzard for Ari. 3 headshots to follow up. And everyone's down for Afterglow. 40 seconds. Once again, they have 1 more chance here on second point.
What a long fight. Both teams doing such a good job baiting out the Ramattra ult. Kraken, the moment they saw it, they all pulled back, and Avery, or as always, Cute Thing, did such a good job staying alive. But you got to come back in eventually to help your Ramattra, and that's where Avery and the rest of Afterglow was able to collapse and just take that fight longer and longer, trying to stay into it. Now, though, with only 15 seconds left on the clock, they only have that overclock available.
Yeah, in fact, only ultimate on board for either team will have to be heroics from that, as Avery, oh my goodness, so low. Lamp going to be forced just to keep them in it, but now Bion walking forward with his overclock, chunking in damage, but no picks found crucially. But they do have the beat to sustain. They can walk in with that. The BAP goes down. The healing is now gone. And Afterglow, again, they make it work in overtime. They're gonna, this time, make it to second point and try to get that third.
Both sides captured in overtime, though. Not a great pace, especially because every time you capture a point, you get less and less time. Only a minute 20 left now, and Kraken below in the ult economy. Actually, Afterglow doing a really good job of making sure they keep enough in the bank for the next site. And so far, those investments have been paying dividends. As we get on to here, we already have the window up, and Ramatras are running through. Look at Avery sending it.
Avery does not care about the window, runs on through. Despite being so low, has a window at their back to just able to keep themselves alive. Now goes in with Annihilation, looking for the backline, but it's Ari who gets isolated by that. Will go down. Now May's gone for both sides, but Cute Thing is just being able to get chunked down. The Dragon will slow down the advance from Afterglow, but they don't have a Ramatra alive, so more point presence here for Afterglow, but the spawn advantage for Murmuries. As now Avery looking for that Lucio, goes so low, but I mean, that character is just so slippery. Going to be incredibly difficult to find that out. And now that that Nemesis form is done, they have the beat. Murmuries could just choose to send it in, and they use it, but the Blizzard could be everything here. Or McMahon gets the freeze onto Cute Thing, and now the Ramatra is down. The Blizzard comes through the other way. They have to stay on the point. Can anyone touch? Yes, McMahon gets on with the block, but Avery has fallen down. Bion pops the overclock. Perhaps the last chance here for Afterglow to get the cap. A nice dink, but just doesn't do enough damage here. Will be able to get the BAP so low, but is able to stay alive. And now with the ball coming back and a nice pick onto McMahon. I mean, it's just the back here for Marmory's Kraken. Axe just putting in the damage, finding out the picks, and Afterglow will be stopped before they cap third point.
Afterglow doing a really good job with that fight to take it quick, take it fast. You know, they're going to use ults. Kraken's going to use resources just to run through, no fear. Works out great for them. Issue is they invest a lot of resources to get through that and win the fight. And then for the first time in a very long time, they don't have enough in the bank to break through that huge spawn that is Shambali point 3. The spawn advantage there is it's just absolutely insane. It's so hard to break through it, no matter what. Even harder to break through it when you just had to use all of your resources on the fight before. You know, Bion doing an amazing job to charge up 2 overclocks in 2 fights, but not enough to close it out there. And so while Kraken has to go basically the full distance, still an amazing push for Afterglow there. You know, that shows a huge adjustment from yesterday, even though every site got through in overtime, still going a great distance to set themselves up for this defense.
Yeah, I mean, Shambali is kind of a weird map in that I feel like every point you can kind of just get stuck on if you're attacking. On the first point, especially with that spawn hold and that oppressive high ground at the end of it. And then second point, I mean, you can just kind of, there are a lot of choke hold areas that you can hold on to. And then third point, I mean, we just saw it. Those spawns just make it incredibly difficult. So, I mean, Afterglow weren't able to hold on the defense last time, but today is a new day.
New breath of life for trying to get this spawn hold once again.
Yep, as Nari looking for the shots with the Stormbow, not able to quite find it. I mean, Hanzo can be a bit of an RNG character sometimes, as both walls just kind of stacked on
bows and arrow, right?
Yeah, as it is Cute Thing to go down first, and now without that Ramatra, I mean, Nari has no safety. Will go down. And Afterglow, nice start here, and it's interestingly, Ari's gonna go over to the Junkrat.
I hate Junkrat. I especially don't hate Junkrat and Widow to break a close hold. I mean, every second that goes by is another second you don't have to get through this brutal first point. Oh, Bastion off on the side. Love to see it. Avery having some trouble trying to capitalize on it, but Bion's in the back and able to grab him down.
Yeah, but will die for it as Cute Thing gets the punish, and I mean Avery just not able to be kept up. I mean there's just so much damage with the Junkrat. I mean nice shots from Ari there. And they're able to break the spawn hold, but again, the big reason you run this spawn hold isn't because you expect to hold Dire for 4 minutes. It's because it gives you more time, more fights to hold on to first point.
Yeah, and because of that switch onto the Junkrat, they're going to be playing with the Junkrat probably for the rest of this point. You know, they're going to have that tire up soon. Nari misses out on a whole lot of their own ult charge, and so Bion a whole 30% ahead. Both of the Ramatras are even though, so totally expect Annihilation Fields this fight.
Yeah, so now I feel like it's kind of on Mickman to find the value on this Mei that Marmaries don't have because they have that Junkrat. Not able to use the wall for much there, has to use it to stop the window, and now a window of their own for Afterglow here. Just kind of buying time, giving them some space, and once they get the chances, Ari, that's a little bit too close for comfort there. We'll go down. Fire not able to find anything. Blizzard just for security there from Mickman, and that's another fight going the way of Afterglow.
So that's a bit ambitious of a Junkrat tire there, really trusting the front line. Avery's tanky enough that they can just poke their head on through, and no chance you're going to escape there. Little corner, not enough of a defense. And so they are going to swap back to that Mei, which no worry about the ult charge there, as Mickman did end up investing their own ice block in this one. But with 1 minute left, Avery is the one with Annihilation Field. Bion and Overclock. Caro gonna have that sound barrier to keep everyone alive, and so Afterglow can just take this fight as long as they want to.
Yeah, Nari's looking for something to make it work with the Overclock. The beat comes out to counter. Not able to find too much, and there it is. Avery has the Annihilation, going to try to run through, but so much damage. They have to be really careful not to overstep here, because that could just be what opens the floodgates, but Unlucky Main is the one to go down, and now Afterglow can just run in. Cute Thing, so low, will go down. 40 seconds. Marmaries, one more chance to stay alive in this tournament, but the staggers will make it so difficult.
Yeah, I mean that's the weird thing with those like fights at about 120. You either want to win them or you want to lose as quickly as possible. And Kraken there just getting overran by Afterglow's pace. Afterglow doing such a good job of, you know, letting Kraken in, letting them stay back a little bit. And then once the time has gone by to make this fight almost impossible, they just crash on in and end it there.
Yeah, the window, pretty much everything Marmaries has to work with, but Bion finds the pick through their own. This could be it. Afterglow on the precipice of taking down their previous defeaters, but Nari still wants to be in it, finds the pick onto their counterpart, but the Blizzard, Mickman runs in, the Baptiste is frozen, Nari finds them out, but that Blizzard is just everything. Everyone on the point is frozen up. Nari just has to stay on as long as they can, has the overclock to try and do anything, but the beat comes through, should be able to just keep Afterglow alive. Nari is so low. Avery finds the fists. Everyone on the point is going to die here for Marmaries. Avery has the Annihilation just for good measure, and Afterglow don't like the first verse, so they write their own. They take down Marmaries and will go on in our bracket.
Revenge given in defining fashion there, as not only did they right the wrongs, getting all the way to point 3 to the end, they righted the wrongs, but then amazing point 1 hold here, just blasting everything back. Amazing play across the board from Afterglow. Again, hats off to the DPS keeping everyone alive, and amazingly hats off to Avery, who was able to pace this so incredibly well. Every single fight, every single, you know, map point, just taking the fights exactly when they were needed on Shambali, and not a second before. And I cannot be more impressed with the pacing and positioning that Avery was able to put out there.
Yeah, and I also just want to shout out, I mean, the team as a whole. I feel like it's so incredible. On Nepal, it just looked like Marmaries were going to be the better team on that Ramatra comp. I mean, they were handily defeating Afterglow in that mirror. And then we know from yesterday, on Shambali, Marmaries were able to take that matchup. And despite both of those things, Afterglow come out on Shambali, on the Ramatra duel, and win it out. to keep themselves alive in this tournament.
I mean, with their backs against the wall, Afterglow showed up today.
Yeah.
You know, we saw 2 map picks that really didn't seem like they were going their way, and they
Yeah.
managed to turn them on their head and show a great, amount of force there and set themselves up for this next round.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know who they'll be going up against next? I believe they will be fighting against the loser of Kunoichi versus Catboy Cafe. Catboy Cafe, the one who took down the Kraken, and Kunoichi, the one who just took down Afterglow.
Yeah. Or wait, does the bracket flip?
Oh, no, never mind. They're going up against In Wonderland. I'm
Okay.
so good at what I do. I was like, wait, that wouldn't make
It's
sense.
okay,
Why
it's
would they
okay.
go against the people they just played? No, In Wonderland, who just went down 2-1 against Swag 1.
Yeah, I mean, kind of brutal for Afterglow. I mean, they just played this really close series, facing elimination. Now they have to go into another one. But I mean, if
That's
they
the
can
life
keep
of loser
playing,
bracket.
if they can keep playing like they just did, I believe in them. And I wanna quickly also give a word to Storm Armies. I mean, they played excellently. It's so unfortunate that they had to go down here because I mean, I think the thing is, I mean, just every team in this tournament is incredibly strong. So, I mean, sometimes that's just how it shakes out. Even if you are a really good team, sometimes you'll just be one of the first ones to be eliminated. But they definitely put on a show for us, and I wish them luck in whatever future tournaments they do, especially calling out heroes, because I mean, I know they do excellently in that.
I mean, when the talent level is this high in a tournament, sometimes the amazing teams that you want to see more of end up falling in just that 0-2, which I don't feel like the 0-2 represents their performance in this
Yeah.
tournament today. They did amazing work. With that, though, I do think that we have to take a short break, get set up for that next match, get ready. I have absolutely loved these 2 matches today, though. Just amazing performance across the field.
Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo.
Hello and welcome to day 2 of the Kunoichi Kickoff stream. We've got some great Overwatch for you, and we're just here to round out the day with some new faces. My name is K-Wing, here with Biscuit, who we're having a bit of trouble with the camera, but I promise you, Biscuit is in fact here. I'm not just sitting alone and going to cast by myself. I do have friends.
Okay, there we go. We're back. It's not the voices casting, but yeah, glad to see you all here. Today we're back in with a bit of a losers bracket match. We're very excited for this one. Again, we're still in the first of 2 phase of our little bracket. And, it's slowly developing, and right now we're going to be seeing Afterglow versus Kunoichi CGL. And I'm just saying, K-Wing, again, these players, it's every match that we've been casting. It's stack player after stack player after stack player. And the ones that I do want to touch on is going to be on the side of Afterglow, because We've seen them play since yesterday. Abre, absolutely insane on the Ramatra. We have some really good history here from NYXL Academy on the side of Kero, on the side of Kiki. I do believe that Kiki wasn't able to play their last match. They had a bit of a ringer situation going on there. And McMahon, we've seen them on the May, a miracle worker every single time that they are in the map. And Bion, they can play basically everything. They play Sombra, they play your Hanzos, they play everything that you could want. However, our favorite to win this match going in is a little bit of Kunoichi CGL and K-Wing. Do you know anything about them that you can tell us?
I mean, within Wonderland, you have some incredible players from Calling All Heroes, from the original qualifier, from that original Challenger series, with 3 members of the Altiora Super Team. 2 from Altiora Artemis and 1 from Altiora Polaris, with KJ, Gloomy, and Halo. Halo, of course, being a name you'd recognize if you're, like me, a fan of New York Excelsior, as she was the main support for the New York Excelsior up until a few weeks ago. And now she is here with us in the CGL Kunoichi tournament. And we are so glad to see her here. And the question is, for both these teams, with a first to 2 elimination tournament lives on the line, which of these teams is going to put in that extra bit of effort? For me, I have to think that In Wonderland has all the advantages here going into the tournament. We've seen a little bit of just how scary they can be, you and I, and I expect nothing less from them. I'm very surprised that they got taken out even by Swag 1 in the upper bracket. So we'll have to see if that was a bit of a misstep, or if they're fallen out of the rabbit hole a bit.
Right, it's so hard to predict who's gonna win, because last time we were watching Afterglow, we predicted the complete opposite. A little bit of an upset. The same happened with In Wonderland. They were going against that team that had been together for years and years and winning these like marginalized gender community tournaments, and then they ended up losing to 2-0. So honestly, at this point, I don't think you can predict it super easily. And I'm gonna go a little bit against you, because I'm a really big fan of Afterglow. Kiki and Carol, the absolute the work that they put on this backline, they just never seem to die. They have everything coordinated. Whenever they get dove, you are in danger instead of them, trust me. And McMahon on that May, when I say that it's inspiring, it is inspiring. When I began playing Overwatch, it was all about me playing DPS, and I played May and I watched it, and I sometimes want to go back, but trust me, a lot of things can happen here, and we will see who is proven wrong. Again, as you were mentioning, really important, first to 2. So whoever loses packs their things and go home, and whoever wins is gonna end up moving up in the bracket, doing their little run. So in Wonderland, Afterglow, we're going in real soon. And Phone, we have to remember, they are ringing a absolute star DPS in BPL, if you follow that league, currently playing in A-League, a captain as well, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of brawl, a lot of up-close action, and we're going in this map. Whoever wins this map gonna be primed and ready to be moving on in the bracket.
And we already see just how aggressive In Wonderland are prepared to take this. They've got Phone on the Bastion, they've got KJ on the Symmetra, looking to absolutely shred through the shields. A big Fire Strike going to cleave through from Spinor, and they just immediately take position on this point, and they have the advantage. Maywall coming out, and it's KJ on the Symmetra looking for a shield to burn through, but Phone on the Bastion, just hearing that minigun go burr, just shredding through any defensive abilities that you've got on that side, going low, but not able to find the finishing blow onto the May. In fact, the May is going to dish out the finishing blow onto your BAP, so you need to finish this fight off quick, but it looks like that's exactly what Phone's going to do, taking out Avery and taken out by the Lucio. It's a scrappy fight on the point here, and one that is not in the favor of In Wonderland. In fact, you have to use that Symmetra ult just to keep up, and they will eventually force Afterglow out.
Right, I mean, if an overcommit, it doesn't quite find anything, doesn't block anything, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And look at that, we're coming in real quick. Avery taking no prisoners. They want to get back on point as soon as they can. And in Wonderland, they are established in this Symmetra Bastion composition. Makes it so much harder for Yoromacho to get in, but that window is going to help you out a lot.
Yeah, that window just denies so much in the way of point position for in Wonderland. They're just going to have to come away from it, now re-engaging onto this point. They can't lose it immediately, but they're going to just have it dropped out from under them. Both Immortality Fields gone. The beat coming out from Kiro, but Halo saves hers crucially for a potential re-engage or to save against something else, but they might even need it. There it is, the Shatter dropping in to catch two. There goes the BAP, there goes the Hanzo, and there goes the fight for In Wonderland.
The hammer drops, and in Wonderland, they get rewarded handsomely for everything that they spent. It's 4 ultimates, but now you're going against Big Man's Blizzard, but what a pick! That means that Afterglow doesn't get to commit.
That's a huge Blizzard, and it takes so much time off the clock.
Right, it takes away a lot from them, and they have 30% Afterglow. They may be in last touch position, but they have the Blizzard, and we've seen what McMahon can do with this. An absolute miracle needs to happen if they want to touch, and it's working now.
Oh, the wall gets thrown out, that Blizzard right over top. It freezes up the Reinhardt, but the BAP is the first to fall. Kiki is gone, and you would probably take that trade any day of the week for In Wonderland. Losing that Rein is not great, but losing your BAP is almost a death knell. They're going to lose KJ, and it's just Mimi on that merge, on McMahon, on the merge, on the May. I'm so excited, I'm losing all my words. Phone finds that first pick, and you need something. You need a big headshot to come out from this May, but McMahon can't find it. The overtime wick burns down, barely keeping it up, but eventually they'll find those final blows. They'll seal the deal, and that Hanzo will not be able to touch round 1 to In Wonderland.
Right, in Wonderland, just absolutely establishing themselves. I want to be on point. I want my turret. I want my BAP to be there all day, every day, reminding us of like old bunker comes back in Overwatch 1, if you remember those days. But I'm just saying, in Wonderland, absolutely looking extremely good here. And one of the things that Afterglow suffered in is that if Phone gets double turret cooldowns, he's gonna end up winning that fight. It's more than 1,000 damage per second that is being dealt to your tank, to your DPS, to your backline, so you need to win quickly. However, the threat of the Bastion is no longer there. We're switching into a more traditional Symmetra May DPS line. What this means is that the tank can never get close. If Avery ever gets a little too forward, a little too feisty, KJ is absolutely gonna melt them down with that photon barrier gun, and it's going to be Phone who's gonna play a lot of the tempo. Walls are going to decide who wins and who loses here.
Oh, that was such a good wall. And the boop comes in. Halo finds the pick onto Bion immediately, just shutting down Afterglow before almost a single shot could go off from anyone else. The wall was perfect, and the boop was better. What? Oh, that's such a big pick.
That
they
is.
need to get out of there.
Yeah, without Kiki, without having your Moira, you have no supports basically. Carol, he is gonna have to do a lot of problems here. Without your support line, you cannot move in, and even Halo, hello, what happened? A little lost, and Kiki, they have to regroup K-Wing. They are at a big deficit here. The time bank is ticking down. It's 20% already to In Wonderland. Afterglow looking to take over this wide room, and if they can move in with Moira heals, they could take over the point.
Yeah, that Moira heal can be really big, but behind them is a Reinhardt swinging that hammer left and right, but gonna get walled off, and going in too deep is Spinor on the Reinhardt. They need something to come up big. They need KJ to dish out this damage. Has that level 3 beam to just melt down even the coldest of ice princesses. Big Man gonna find that out the hard way. There's the Blizzard trying to find the freeze onto the Reaper, finds the pick. Halo's picking up too. The Amplification Matrix invested in as well. And now it's Phone looking to seal the deal, looking to find the real, and Avery just jumps off, says it's all over for me.
He doesn't want any of that grind big bopper. You know, the fight keeps going. However, we did see Phone utilize the Blizzard, and without the Blizzard, this fight might be a little messy, K-Wing. Look at that. Avery has Annihilation. They are going to walk in, and Migman's going to freeze them all up. However, 80% looking into last fight territory. If they don't win it, they might win it, but if they do, it's going to be at a very, very hefty investment.
Yeah, they've got all the ults they want. They have the beat. There's the Blizzard to try and freeze out this Reinhardt. Going to invest the Shatter. Did that Shatter just get canceled by the Blizzard? That is such an incredible play. And unfortunate. Wow, really unlucky there from Spinor. Just a huge ult invested. Halo uses the beat as well, so this Annihilation is going to be completely free for Afterglow. They might not even need it. Avery's gonna land the Nemesis form punches. The Death Blossom's gonna get thrown in, take out Halo. It's an even trade. They're going to need to use the Annihilation, which is a big investment in this last fight, especially when they've got to roll it up to 100% with no dropped points.
It's exactly what you have to do. You have to use everything that you could just to secure your touch. And you know what that means? Kiki didn't use their Coalescence because they know that their tank, their DPS are committing. So Coalescence is on board for this one, and Phone is the only one that didn't get to use their ultimate. They have it here primed and ready, and one of the problems is they used almost everything. They used beat, they don't have wall, and they don't have shatter either. So this is going to be a bad fight for In Wonderland, and if Afterglow wins Coalescence, this could take them into really good momentum.
It could. Kiki uses that Coalescence immediately, but it can do nothing to save Migman. It'll take out Gloomy. It's a good trade. There's the Blizzard thrown right onto Avery, but the beats from Kiro keeps them alive. So it's a scrappy fight back and forth, not staying on the point. That Reaper's going to do a lot of damage to KJ, but eventually that fight's going to go the way of In Wonderland. Not a big investment, but an investment nonetheless.
Right, and ultimates are coming back for Side of In Wonderland. 4 ultimates online and Afterglow. They need to play this one slow, K-Win. If they go quickly, they will have nothing to counteract this window, this shatter. And you know, although Avery has blocked the shatter and we saw it live, it might not happen this time, and that's a little rough. Please, Kiki, get your Coalescence, get your Annihilation, because this might be a wipe if they don't get them soon.
Yeah, oh, okay, Kiki goes down. That was the closest you'd probably get to a quick charging ultimate, and it is gone. Unless Bion can find something or Avery can find something, it might just be all over for Afterglow. Avery goes down, Bion goes down. The 2 hopes that we said are gone for Afterglow. It's a team fight. They don't even need to use the Shatter. They'll just use it to take out anyone trying to come onto that point. And In Wonderland have shown us that you can take the fight you can take them out of the fight, but you can't take the fight out of them.
Absolutely. Look at the way that they are playing, K-Win. They are just not wanting to drop a single map. They don't want to give them a singular bit of percentage that they don't absolutely need to give them. And first point, of course, a lot more back and forward, but that second one, like, of course, you're gonna win a fighting which invest for ultimates, but then, right as we said it, right, you're paying a big price to win. And then you take them over the point, and then you have nothing for the next upcoming rounds, the next upcoming fight. So every scrim after that is just going to be lost after loss after loss, and then you cannot take losses if you're at 99%. So of course, In Wonderland, absolutely beautiful usage of their ultimates, beautiful usage of their positioning, their picks, everything playing perfectly. And Afterglow looking like they're about to lose their tournament life if they don't get their game together for the second game, because we have to remember, first to 2 for this side of the bracket, and we're going into our hybrid map. We might see a little bit of a switch in place. You know, we see a lot of control brawl, but right now we may switch onto a more divey comp. Like, you know, you lost the brawl, but I think you can bet it all on the monkey going forward.
Yeah, we do have the word coming in. Our next map, and potentially our final map, is going to be Blizzard World. So I'm interested as to what you think In Wonderland are going to do for this fight. I mean, Afterglow, this is their map pick. Blizzard World, you can't really go the rush. So do we think In Wonderland can bring out a really great Winston dive?
Yeah, absolutely. If you've seen it in Wonderland, they know how to play the monkey, and the same goes for Afterglow. I mean, we've seen Avery on monkey dive in on those kicky nades that absolutely get everyone and just win fights by themselves. But I do think that it's going to be a lot of pressure onto the DPS because they might be playing Tracer, they might be playing Sombra, and the Ashe as well. So trust me, this map, we've seen it a lot, specifically in this tournament. Not a lot of Icon Wall, it's always Blizzard World, Blizzard World, Blizzard World, because it tests your coordination. And if you don't have those types ready, K-Wing, trust me, you're not making it very far.
Yeah, you always have to be flexible, and I completely believe that these guys are going to be flexible. We've seen how good In Wonderland can be. So the question has to be, can we see a match come in? Can we see them match the incredible stuff we have seen so well? I mean, I don't know if we can see that from Afterglow, because they just seemed a step behind the entire time on Lijiang. But we do have a bit of a substitution coming in. Tell us about what's going on there.
Well, we're gonna be seeing that Avery is not playing anymore. You know, the main tank that we have been seeing. You know, under Amatra, on the Monkey. However, we're getting a little bit of conflicting reports. You know, we got baited casters. It happens. You know, teams like to play with us. So no more Klefki. We're going back to the Avery, and Avery, again, as we've been seeing, it's all about the monkey. So get ready for the dives, trust me. And we saw it, for example, during the earlier matches. It also, a lot of it comes down to the Sombra, and whoever's playing Sombra, they have a lot of pressure on their soldiers, on their shoulders, because you have your ultimate, and your ultimate always needs to get one pick at least. And if you're not getting that consistently, if your dives are not killing them with the ultimate usage, you're going to get outpaced, out-tempoed, out-positioned, out everything. So, you know, Blizzard World usually tends to be a map that teams struggle in, but trust me, I've seen teams that when they are losing, when their backs are against the wall, in the case of Afterglow, they just look like whole different players moving forward into the rounds. This might be a map 3, or this could be a wipe, we don't quite know yet.
Yeah, there's always something else they could dig into to try and keep themselves alive, because like we have been saying this entire match, this is the losers bracket stream. This is where these teams are at their most vulnerable, are at their most risk of losing their spot, of losing this tournament and not getting that chance at the prize pool, the $350 for first place and the $150 for second place. A $500 prize pool in total, and both these teams really need to keep themselves alive if they want even the slightest chance to get there.
Right, and you're playing against really big players. You're not playing against random teams. It's gonna be like Afterglow and Wonderland. We've seen Kunoichi with incredible players from Dark Monkeys, like great people all over the place. So you have to prove that you deserve to be there. You have to prove that you want that money. You know, that battle pass isn't gonna buy itself. So in Wonderland, looking like they want to fight and they want the big prize. But look at this. We're seeing the monkey just as we're talking about K-Wing, and this is absolutely going to be possible. It's a double flanker on the side of In Wonderland. We've seen it. KJ is going to be cloaked behind that backline, and Phone, he's just gonna be ready at a moment's notice to blink onto a dive, onto an anti, and decimate Kira and Kiki, who are going to be playing Death by Daylight most of this match. But if they can defend themselves, if Kira can keep Kiki up, and likewise from Kiki, they might just not get completely annihilated. So Afterglow looking to set up a dive here.
Oh, what a good whip shot, and the anti-nade. That is the support combo we've been looking for, but KJ is going to find themselves right getting dived on by Avery, just getting taken out. The supports can stay alive, but it doesn't look like your DPS could, as Halo getting antied and getting taken out. Both Sombras going down. Now the Ana in the crosshairs for Avery, going to have to dive back out and just set up position on the point. After a solid, quick fight for Afterglow, here's the recontest coming in from Spinor. Anti-nade coming in onto both supports of Afterglow. Can they find the follow-up? Yes, they can. The Tracer's going to give their life, but Gloomy goes down. The picks come through from the DPS of Afterglow, and 5 minutes on the clock. Afterglow are not done yet. They are burning rubber.
Absolutely massive time back, looking like a whole different tempo, a whole different rhythm from the other side of from the other map at all, right? So look at that Afterglow setting up, showing you why Avery is still in. And Kiki, they have the nano ready, showing you the amount of healing, the amount of damage that they've been doing. And this nano probably gonna go onto Avery, setting up a massive dive that Gloomy might have a hard time dealing with.
Yeah, Avery going to drop in, get that nano, and engage with that Sombra. Pulse Bomb thrown into the back line. Not going to find any damage, but just a big ability getting used. Nickman healed up on this Sombra. Avery using that Primal Rage. Going to get hacked out, so going to have to jump away because 1,000 HP can get shredded pretty quickly with that damage boost, as it'll eventually wear off. Avery going to jump in, but going to get bounced off. And the EMP from KJ is going to find multiple and shred through Afterglow. Going to put a stop to the bleeding right there. But in Wonderland, finally find their footing.
I hope you guys are absolutely fans of the Sombra EMP plays, because that is going to be the name of the game in Wonderland, showing us how important that ultimate is. McMahon invests their own, but is not quite able to find anything with it, and that is bad news. However, Kero, they do have the rally, and they can defend against this dive. Look at that, the monkey over extending a little bit, and if they can find a kill here, they can break through.
Yeah, but it's going to be the Primal Rage coming out from Spinor. They'll get slept, but then they'll just jump into this small room, and you can't be with a Primal Rage and Winston in a small room like that. That is Juggle City and Population U right there. Oh, man.
Yeah, Afterglow just not finding their footing in. Like, first point looking so good, and the second one is just not quite looking as good as you would have wanted. In Wonderland, they have their game done. However, the ultimates have been best at K-Wing. It's 3 minutes, but they only have a rally, and we're slowly starting to see the nano, the rally inside of Kero. This could be a fight that they can win solely based off of this ultimate economy that they've been doing pretty well on.
Yeah, they have a lot of ults coming up because Wonderland have been winning these fights off the back of their ultimates, but maybe it's time. The Piper has come and knocking, nearly getting that manual hack onto Avery, but the anti is going to come in regardless. Going to get stunned out and whipped away from Halo, just trying to keep those supports alive, trying to peel for that Ana, going in a lot more aggressively as the rally's going to wear off. Halo's still in a good position, but going to get jumped on by a Nano Primal Winston. That is an angry Avery right there. Not going to find many picks. Going to get antied and nearly taken out. Finally finding the pick onto Gloomy with some help from your McMahon Sombra. And they'll push through, and they'll find point B.
Yeah, Afterglow really able to just say, oh, it doesn't matter. It's not over yet.
It's not over, but KJ is going to get taken down immediately. The Winston's going to get shredded, and it'll be a quick stagger.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a stagger. Not too bad for the setup in Wonderland. You know, you just lost the point. Card takes a little bit to start moving forward, so you can get your people back. But McMahon, good kill onto Gloomy. That's gonna delay them a little bit, and the whole part of this point is gonna be getting past this corner. Look at that. McMahon is setting up perfectly. They are ready for this EMP play. The hacks are coming in right, left and right. However, this EMP is gonna be the breaker for the match.
Oh, it immediately shreds Halo, just bursting her down to half HP, and the damage boost will do the rest. Immediate devastation, as now Gloomy is more vulnerable than they've ever been before. And she has to be so incredibly careful while Halo respawns to not get dove on by this Winston, because there's a lot less support and a lot less peel that's going to be coming out. As now it's Phone on the Tracer, has the Pulse Bomb, looking for the back line, throws it in, but can't find any picks off of it. Some really good break play to keep that Pulse Bomb from finding Paydirt, as Spinor, even the Primal Rage, barely keeping themselves alive. And Halo gets taken down. Avery is on top of her and just bursts down. The Primal Rage is going to be used to keep in Wonderland, in Spawnland, just to zone them off this cart so incredibly effectively, as now they're going to switch to the Brawl composition. Can't even touch.
I think they're able to touch, and look at that. The rally's going to give them the overhelp that they would be denied by the anti. This is great. And Phone looking a little low, but Afterglow getting pushed out here, K-Wing.
Yeah, Afterglow going to get pushed out. Halo just barely staying alive. She's playing this like a Reinhardt. She's playing it using her HP like a shield. That's so aggressive, but it pays off in the end.
Right, I mean, you have that massive shield. It's not quite a Reinhardt shield, but it does have a stun, and it comes with a lot of damage. 150 in a singular combo, so you have to be careful. Here, on the side of In Wonderland, however, things are starting to look real good for them. The EMP is coming in. We know that that is going to be what makes or breaks a push. And Afterglow, they only have a rally to defend, so if they can pop it prematurely, they might be able to power through it. Antis are coming in, and it's all KJ.
Oh, and there's the EMP taking out Gloomy, who switched on that Baptiste, but the EMP coming out from KJ might be a bit bigger. Avery's gonna get taken out of such low HP and bit burst down finally. So close to keeping themselves alive, but that Sombra just gonna stay alive. Can they TP out? They get burst down.
Yeah, and that is exactly how you're supposed to play it. Look at that. We said it from the beginning. If KJ has an EMP, a push is going to be real tough to push through. However, in Wonderland, a lot looking pretty hot on the ultimate department. They need to get their Annihilation online. And even though Gloomy's mirror may be real important, it's not as good as Afterglow's ultimate's coming in. And Nano is being cooked, and this is going to be last fight territory for whoever wins it.
Yeah, it's last fight territory for both these teams. Ion on the Tracer, has the Pulse Bomb, looking to jump right into the backline, grab some unsuspecting Ana or Brig, but you're going in against some of the best. You can't miss, but there's the Annihilation. It'll burst down Kiki. Kira will barely stay alive, but you lose your Ana, you lose the fight. And in Wonderland, had a rough beginning, but they're able to keep it alive and get themselves a golden box of victory.
Yep, that's a lot of trouble for the side of Afterglow. You know, they were doing quite well on the push. Then Kero, a little bit of a weird switch into the Lucio. I don't know if they were trying to push. They still had 30 seconds, so they could have gotten their break back in. But it's okay. It happens. You know, if Kiki dies, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Your monkey needs to sustain because these dive comps, when they are when they are getting played against each other, there are hacks coming in, and there's so much damage onto your tank that you need to be doing something about it. So second point goes pretty smoothly for Afterglow, not quite as well as their first one. And third point, they get decently far, not quite full capping, but that is a tough place to reach. We were saying it. Getting past the corner in third point is the most important part. And in Wonderland, we'll have to see if they are up to the task. Afterglow defending their tournament lives, and they are playing the mirror matchup. Phone, of course, right now just on Symmetra to make a couple of plays, getting their early positioning. We could even see a live Weaver Widowmaker play, which, you know, they happen very often. But for now, it's going to be a mirror, and we already know how it goes. McMahon, KJ trying to do the Sombra differential, and the backlines trying to just throw those antis in and kill each other. However, potentially last match for tonight, starting right now.
Yeah, last map coming in as the TP is going to get them in. What I'm focused on is this Winston matchup between Spinor and Avery, because we saw Spinor do very, very well in the Brawl matchup, but with Spinor on the Winston, Avery seemed just a step ahead. So we'll have to see if Spinor can come up a bit bigger than last time, as Kira and Kiki have been discovered out by Phone on the Tracer, and it's going to be Avery getting burst down immediately. This Winston that has been such a game changer for them is gone, and there's a lot of squishies who might find themselves in those Tracer crosshairs very shortly as this re-engage coming in quickly. Pick onto the Sombra is a great way to start the recontest, but they need to find more, and it needs to be soon as that Brig goes low and gets taken down. Oh, Phone on the Tracer might be a ringer, but not looking to be a slouch in the slightest. Kiki goes down, and that's a lot of the supports knocked out from under this recontest. If they can find the picks, they might not need the sustain, but they need to be able to push in more aggressively. There's the stick to take out Spinor. They're still alive, but the stick is matched from Phone. It's immediately just a trade, and with the closer spawns, KJ's gonna find the pick and seal the deal. It's a good stagger, but Wonderland keep it alive.
Bion was doing absolutely God's work in that point. They were killing everyone back, and I keep seeing the kill feed, and it's Bion gets a kill, another, but it's not quite enough if your whole team is not there to follow through. If Avery doesn't have heals from Kiki, who's basically playing by themselves because it's touch after touch after touch, there's nothing you can do. But be careful because the action's not stopping. Gloomy has a nano, and once Spider has that eye on the backline instead of Afterglow, they know what they're gonna do.
Oh, the EMP comes in. It catches both supports. You better believe they're going to be burst down. And that's a quickly won fight for Afterglow off the one EMP.
Right, McMahon trying to establish the rhythm. They want to throw EMPs as early as possible. If they have them, they're going to use it. But KJ has one to fire right back at them. And we know how this game goes. It's going to be Spinor looking for a backline dive and KJ about to set up. So all eyes on KJ because as soon as the Q button is pressed, war has been declared to Afterglow.
Oh, there's the EMP. It doesn't find a lot. I might have just found Kiro. It only finds Kiro, and Kiro gets the nano to keep them alive. The rally onto, what an anti-nade. In Wonderland just get torn apart thanks to that big anti-catch on 3 from Kiki.
Yeah, and Afterglow just absolutely sustaining through that. A little bit of misfire on the EMP, not quite getting Kiki. If you don't get Kiki, they are gonna nano Kero, and that is a big problem for what you're doing. If they ever nano Kero, you're gonna be dying if you're not careful inside of Sombra. But Bion looking very aggressive here, and they want to play fast. Afterglow, they have their rally more than ready, but in Wonderland, more than enough ultimates to counter them.
In Wonderland, they've got the ults to hold, so you want to see them only use a few. They might not even need to use more than just the one. They're going to get the pick onto Kiki, and they're going to be bouncing Kiro around like they're in a darn bouncy castle. Even the Pulse Bomb cannot save you. It's just going to delay the inevitable, says Spinor. Oh, that's so scary. Halo has to pop a rally, but still gets some good positioning on the cart. Hack comes in, but no, Halo whips the shield around. She's safe from the hack. So incredibly smart and keeping herself away from that big damage boost that would have come onto her with that hack. Keeping alive, there's the pulse bomb thrown in the back. Kiki is still up, but low. Will she be able to keep alive? Kiki stays up, stays in this game, and that's so important for Afterglow. The effect of losing your Ana cannot be understated. Bone pushes this part, but the contest has to come in from the Sombra. Nano onto Avery, and Mickman's down. Can they find a pick to counter it out? Need to try and find the juggle onto this Ana, just knocking her into the corner, but it's forced out. The healing is there from the Brig. Halo's just standing there, and now Avery has to come in to contest on the point, so has to leave these supports. The EMP comes in. It's 3 picks, but it does not matter. Even the loss of KJ won't stop this crazy train from In Wonderland.
Right, in Wonderland, they are just looking so prepared. And the problem with that fight is that it went on for not only too long, but it went uncontested. The payload was just being pushed through and through. And in Wonderland, looking like they're about to push with these 3 minutes right to the end of this match. So Afterglow, under tournament lives here, Bion, they have the pulse and they need to be real good with it or they might not make it past this stage.
Both pulse bombs coming out, both not finding any kill feed action. Both rallies coming out as we have got these Brigs swinging those maces, but it's Avery the first to go down with a lot of assists coming in, helping Phone find that final blow. And there's another fight. It's now last fight territory for the tournament lives of Afterglow.
Yeah, Afterglow, come on. Kero, he was fighting by himself on point, and right now they have nothing to fire back with K-Wing. This is bad because Kiki, you need to get those nades in. You need to get that nano as soon as possible so Avery can start doing things on the backline. But KJ about to have that EMP, and that is the worst thing that can happen to you.
Mickman finds Halo. That is such a great start there. Mickman's gonna go down, but Gloomy's gonna follow soon after. No support, no peel from the Brig means the Ana is sure to die, and Afterglow's gonna stabilize with 1:40 left.
I don't know, K-Wing. I'm scared for this one. You have to hold me because KJ has the EMP. They have the finger on the trigger, and that is scary. Once they use that EMP, someone's going to be dying, and the Nano Hover is the only thing that can counter it. Kiro might be the objective to kill on this fight on Kiki. You need to get them through.
Yeah, you need to make sure that Kiki stays alive through that EMP. Otherwise, that Nano won't be able to save anyone. KJ's EMPs have been deadly this entire series, this entire tournament, mind you. So we'll have to see if KJ can find another big one to send in Wonderland to the losers semi-finals and another chance. But it's going to be Mickman with the EMP coming out first. It's going to be both supports gone. The Nano's going to come in onto Kiro just to keep them alive. But they didn't even use the EMP. They'll win the fight Afterglow. But with a big investment when In Wonderland came in dry.
McMahon just went cloaked and ran through main in a straight line. They saw McMahon and they still let it happen. The EMP finds 2 and that kills that push. But now you have to deal with Pulse, with Nano, and with every ultimate coming up. They have been detected, so we know what is gonna happen.
Yeah, Nano coming in for Finer. They have to deal with the EMP. The EMP catches the Ana. Kiro's gone. Kiki's slowly going to get burned down. Avery has the Primal Rage in the back. They find the pick onto Halo. Gloomy is going to be so incredibly low. That Pulse Bomb going to keep Avery low. Few meters remain. Avery goes down. If they can stall out, they might have a chance here Afterglow. But In Wonderland is pushing even more through. Kiro uses the rally, keeping this team in contention, keeping it alive. The switch onto the D.Va has to come in from Avery to get back to point just that little bit faster, but they're gonna find the pick onto Halo, they're gonna find the pick onto Spinor, and they're going to burn down this overtime wick. What was spawn? What was quick spawn picks? What was we need to get back to point to stagger out became the fight winner, and Afterglow will not go softly into that dark night.
Afterglow, they are not going to die, so they are not going to just roll over and get their tournaments live to the side of In Wonderland. Just absolutely winning that fight. I don't know how they did it. Like, they managed to break it to make it back, even after losing their tank. A lot of it does come down to the rally. Karo just absolutely looking clean with those stunts and just getting their ultimates when they need it most. And, you know, the switch onto a D.Va at the end helps out a lot. Actually, I do think that D.Va should be played a little bit more. We know that Monkey is guaranteed, but D.Va allows you for that peel onto the backline. And, you know, known as a counter monkey matchup. Not the best, you know, you don't get those skills quite as easily, but when you have 2 massive shotguns with infinite ammo, trust me, that Monkey's gonna have a lot of trouble, not only sustaining through your DM, but through a lot of the damage or outputting. However, K-Wing, that match is in the past. We're going into the last one, possibly the last time we see either In Wonderland or Afterglow. Absolutely great teams that have been having a fun time, not only casting, but following throughout this whole series.
These teams have been a joy to watch and a joy to cast, but one of them goes home with this match, and we saw a really good statement as to why we might have been underestimating Afterglow in that match. So we're going to have a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to show you the epic conclusion. One of these teams goes home. One of them moves on with their lives intact. You'll have to see which one it is when we return. Don't go anywhere. Don't change the Twitch channel. We will be right back. And we are back. Before we went to the break, we had a very dominant first map performance from In Wonderland, and we thought that all was over for our wonderful other team of Afterglow, but they showed us that whenever you push them into the corner, you just make them that much stronger, as they pulled out an incredible Blizzard World 3-2 victory. And now, going on to the Shambali Monastery, to In Wonderland's map pick, the final map of this series. What do you expect here, Biscuit? Blizz is our producer.
Yeah, shout out to Blizz, best producer in the world. But as we were talking about,
our producer.
Well,
Blizz isn't our producer. Little Joe's our producer. Blizz is one of the observers.
Yeah, give it up for our incredible production. However, we have to take it back to our players. Shambali, and if you're an Avery fan, you're a fan of this map. This is the Ramatra map, and you know how Avery gets down. They're able to just go in, punch a lot, and they know that they have McMahon just right behind them, freezing them all over the place. And this is not an easy map. This is, by the way, in case you guys, a little bit of Overwatch trivia. This is literally the same layout as Circuit Royale, but very cramped. Like the walls, elevation, everything around this map favors really close combat. So we're gonna see a lot of Mei with McMahon, a lot of Reaper, and possibly a lot of that piece as well. So trust me, it's gonna be brawl all the way. Some snipers may be played as well, but I think that Shambali is a perfect place to end things on. We could see a tie. They don't happen that often and take us into a map 4. However, I think this is going to be the map to end this series. First to 2, whoever wins, they keep moving on their incredible losers bracket run. Sorry, and the last one, goes home, doesn't get to see the prize pool. However, Shambali gonna be our last map, probably no matter what. So get ready for a lot of constant fights for a long time. And just 10 seconds before we see the comms that are going to decide who wins and who loses this 1K wing.
I'm not sure. You have to give the advantage here to In Wonderland. And I know I said that since the start of the game, but this is their map pick, and they're going to be doing a little bit of trolling. They're going to engage in a minor amount of tomfoolery in the spawn, but with Afterglow, this is their set in comp. They've got the Ramatra, they've got the Hanzo, they've got the Mei, and they're going to try and get they might try and get a close hold in, but it looks like, going to be coming in with that close hold.
Right, and it's going to be when you see Ramatra, you know that you're in for fights that are just up close, and if you can hold this spawn, this could be real good. But yesterday we saw an interesting play. So with different teams, of course, they held close, and Bion used one of the Hanzos used the Sonic Arrow. They saw them and they lost the fight. So that could happen right here. Be real careful, be real observant. However, it doesn't happen, and they hold close. It's gonna probably work, hopefully.
Yeah, Avery's going to get some damage pumped into them right away, but staying alive as this Ramatra's going to go very, very deep in, but pull back immediately. Phone on the Mei, looking for those clutch, crucial headshots, as one onto a squishy could take them down, could seal the deal, and it'll find one onto Mickman and Spinor. That's such a big source of damage removed onto them. They nearly went down before that, but that pressure is gone, and these headshots from Bone are certainly not, as they're going to take us into the just a quick one fight for In Wonderland.
Hey, can we get all eyes on Ultimate Charge for In Wonderland? They almost have Blizzard and they almost have the Nano. That gives them such an advantage. Usually this map the first fight happens in the first choke. Now this gate that we're seeing right here is gonna be our second point of contention, and then the next gate. However, if you have Blizzard, you clear that threat really easily. So Gloomy right here with the Nano, probably looking to play real fast alongside Spiner with this Ramatra, and look at that, the walls are coming out and cooldowns already spent.
Nickman finds that first pick on the KJ, just takes out the Sojourn, and it's a 4v5. The Nano's gonna come in onto Spinor. They're gonna have to try and punch through the wall, and they just have a great retreat from Afterglow to completely negate the Nano. Spinor gets almost no null charge. Oh, but the Blizzard's gonna get thrown in, gonna catch Mickman, gonna catch Avery, but will the picks come in? No, because a great immortality field from Kiki kept them alive, gonna use the amplification matrix to keep them up as well. And it's gonna be KJ getting taken out again. The Annihilation gets thrown in, but it is a 3v4, but they'll find the way. Halo's gonna use the beat to seal the deal. And this first point is going to be taken out in record time for how good that defense was.
Yep, 4 minutes and a half is not a time to be scoffing at. It's extremely dangerous, it's extremely bad for your team, and it's only 30 seconds away from, like, what, 5 minutes, which is one of the longest timebacks you can get. Afterglow, they need to get their game up. However, in Wonderland, they don't have the ultimates. They invested all of them to secure a really good first point push. And as we go into the tunnel section of Shambali, a lot of these Blizzards are going to decide it. And Bion, what a pick!
Oh, the headshot onto Halo is devastating. The Blizzard's going to rain down destruction. Avery picking up 3.
That's what we're talking on the phone. Oh no, the unfortunate stagger. Yikes. Avery, as we were saying, however, is very, Avery, they're gonna have a fun time here. That we've seen their Ramatra, and when they punch down this corridor, no one is getting out for free. Carol, he has this beat on deck, and Avery, they do have the Annihilation, so this fight is gonna go their way. And if Bion can get a pick first, they might not even need them.
Yeah, and they're gonna be playing in this opening section here, trying to push through that choke. But there's the beat coming in from Caro to just let Avery run rampant in the back line. The Ramatra running rampant, taken out too.
Right, but they used 2 ultimates to counteract a singular ultimate on the side of Sojourn, which KJ is gonna get it much faster than Avery, much faster than Kiro. That leaves them only with Dragons, with a possible Blizzard and Kiki's window coming up. And in Wonderland, Phone, they are the person to be looking at right now. The May player with the Blizzard in hand is gonna win the fight, so they have to speed out of it if they don't want to give this second point for free.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen how the window can be used to counter the Blizzard, but we see the Blizzard come in. Phone dies. The Blizzard does get cast off, but Phone's giving their life for it. And that Hanzo's over on the side. KJ has to play so safe around that Hanzo and around that front line. Now both Ramatras squaring off in Nemesis form. Immortality Field comes out from Gloomy to keep In Wonderland up. And there's that Annihilation. Spinor is going to keep pushing through. It will eventually expire, not as long as it could have been. The Blizzard coming in. Oh, freezing up Spinor, who will get taken out, but Mickman's going to find himself dead first. Avery's just going to get walled off, and rest in peace, Avery. They're going to stay alive. That block is just insane. I don't get how that block is so good at reducing damage, especially when your back's up against the ice wall. But now Avery is coming up to the Annihilation, so In Wonderland is struggling.
Right, we're in a bit of a stalemate here, K-Wing. They can't quite get to past this corner, and In Wonderland, they used the barrier, and look at that, we're going in aggressive.
Yeah, with Avery's Annihilation and a window behind them, there's nothing they can't do Afterglow, and they're going to stop In Wonderland in their tracks. This map is so difficult to push on. This is so hard.
Yep, this is one of the maps that you cannot say you have won until you've pushed this tunnel and the last part of their point, and this tunnel is going to be keeping them just in jail in Wonderland. However, we do have ultimates coming up again. Phone's Blizzard, although it didn't quite find much during the fight it was used on, it's already back up if they can get it. But 1 minute, 2 fights left. Being optimistic on Halo, they have a beat, which might be absolutely huge for this.
Oh, the wall comes in, just dishing out a lot of resources, taking them away. KJ using the railgun, trying to find something, but the beat's gonna come in from Halo to let them be even more aggressive with it. KJ is gonna find the pick on a Mickman and looking for even more. Has that charge of rail shot to wait until Kira's beat is done. Kira's just gonna be trying to dish out the damage, trying to keep Afterglow alive. KJ's trying to find that charge, but there's the annihilation from Spinor, finally pushing in Wonderland in 4 minutes through point B. That is such a tough point to push through. This is such a defender-sided map.
Right, it's a tough map to crack. However, in Wonderland, they might just do it because they didn't use every ultimate that they had. They kept Phone's Blizzard and they kept Gloomy's Window, which is absolutely gonna melt Avery, and they have nothing for Afterglow. Mickman is gonna have to compensate with their own Blizzard coming up real quick.
Yeah, the Blizzard's gonna come up soon, but Avery's gonna go low. Mickman's gonna find themselves getting headshot by Halo, who said that the Lucio isn't a deadly support, has never met Halo. And you're just struggling for Afterglow. They have to run back into their spawn. It's 1 fight left. They used 1 ult.
Right, so dangerous here, and it's going to be last fight territory. Hopefully, the fight goes on for long enough. And Afterglow, they need to use Kiki's Window. They need to use Mickman's Blizzard, but so bad news.
They lose. Both Lucios go down. The Blizzard's gonna come in. Gloomy gets frozen up. Can they get taken down? No, the follow-up's not there. The window from Kiki will expire, and it's just the Ramatra trying to stay alive on the point. But KJ's on the back line. Even the Annihilation might not be able to save them, as they're gonna get taken down. Spinor with 2, and in Wonderland, finish the map. Finish Shambali Monastery, the map that is so incredibly defender-sided, with time in the bank.
Right. Beating Shambali is almost as hard as pushing through a whole push map, and we know as Overwatch players, the dreaded mode, we know how hard it can be, but these teams make it look easy. However, in Wonderland, didn't quite do it as easily as they may have wanted. This is going to be a 24-second time back. Of course, not the biggest of time backs, but still time that they will need if Afterglow makes it to the very end. Looking strong on both of the teams. I don't think any of them played bad at all. It's just in Wonderland, they are just getting these fights, getting these picks through, and we're gonna see the characters locked in. Of course, we're gonna see the Hanzo, which allows for a lot of long range. This first fight, a lot of long corridors, and if Bayon or KJ are able to get even a singular pick from afar, that means that they can win a fight without ultimates, and they don't need to even worry, because having 1 member down in number 2 is the death of your team. However, Afterglow, they need to get it all together. This is their tournament lives, and they have a tall hill to climb, literally, as we're in Shambali Monastery. And they have to get to 3rd point no matter what if they want to get to that prize pool, K-Wing.
They have so much on their plates. Avery on the Roadhog, not going to say on that. I was about to say if they rolled out on that, I would be incredibly surprised. But they've got that sights onto the members of this attacking team, onto Afterglow, but Phone's gonna be the first to find the pick. The attacking team, Afterglow's just not looking great. Kiro nearly getting taken out by a shot from KJ as well. The DPS of In Wonderland finding that first opening pick, but Avery's gonna go down as well. It's not looking good. That first fight of many with this close hold is going the way of In Wonderland.
Yeah, in Wonderland, just doing what Afterglow couldn't with this spawn hold. And look at where Spiner's playing. They are confident. They've been seen through the Sonic arrow, and they are still committing to the push, and Phone is right behind them to support him.
Yeah, I love how they saw the Spy Arrow coming out and just decided to tactical crouch instead of relocating, as Avery's going to get taken down incredibly low, and that is incredibly distracting. That Sonic Arrow embedded in Ramatra, flashing the entire time, but also just showing off is In Wonderland. Halo's going to get hit with the anti-nade, but no follow-up is there. That Lucio just so incredibly mobile. Amplification Matrix is going to get walled off by Mickman. but not finding those picks. Bion, though, will find the opener, and Afterglow will finally get this cart moving after a minute and a half, even with a loss of Mickman.
A minute and a half of being held here is not good news, K-Wing, and I hate to say it, but you still have a lot to defend. You still have a lot to attack as well, and making it through these choke points against the Annihilation, the Blizzard, and the beat that we have available on the side of In Wonderland is going to be real dangerous. But Afterglow, they might just make it. We have the Nano on Kiki. This Ana is the big difference maker, and we have to see it here.
The backwards Dragon Strike coming in from Bion to try and open up this fight. Blizzard, Nano onto Avery, but Avery's gonna get frozen out from that Blizzard, going to eventually recover, has the Annihilation to use, and there it comes. The Annihilation from both teams gonna find some picks, but it looks like Spinor's is just gonna be a bit of a bigger Annihilation, and In Wonderland win the fight, and a huge ult investment from both these teams, and Afterglow can't break through.
And all trades, K-Wing, favor the team that gets control of the point at the very end. 1 minute and 20 seconds, and this is not the best of looks. Mickman needs to get a Blizzard, and Avery needs to get that Annihilation quickly if they want to break through. We're not even past the first choke point of them all, and Halo has a beat, and this beat is gonna just absolutely decimate any ultimate that you wanted to use.
Yeah, you only have Kiro's beat on the side of Afterglow. It was such an expensive fight. Halo and Kiro both going to beat. Kiro does beat second, and the team that beats second does usually end up with the better beat, but the beat's going to expire. The beat has dropped and fallen away, and just this last fight, 45 seconds, Avery using the Nemesis form, trying to burst down Spinor, who's staying alive through the grace of their healers alone, and some really, really good macro play from Gloomy and Halo just to keep them alive. Amplification Matrix used to keep Spinor, but finally the headshot will come through. Bion finds the pick, trying to engage onto this Hanzo in the back line, but doesn't have a lot of support, and that's almost the entire team. You gotta deal with Halo, the deadly Lucio, the Blizzard comes in, freezes 3 on the side of Afterglow. They'll get out of it, but Mickman will not be alive for much longer. Annihilation used from Avery to try and pull this back, but the pick gonna come in from that Dragon Strike. It takes out Kiki, and you lose your BAP, you lose your sustain, and you've got an annihilating Ramatra in your back line. Gonna take out 2, gonna finish off 3, and In Wonderland pushed to the brink, pushed to their absolute breaking point, but they bend, not break.
They just take it all on the chin, and if they chose this map, it's for a reason. You know that if they are taking you here, it's because they have some strategies, they know how to play, and their macro plays is clean. Look at these headshots. Bion, although they were doing so good this tournament, some of the best Hanzo play I've seen in a while, they just can't quite find it. Phone, even as a ringer, K-Wing, look at like a team member, the amount of coordination, the way that they played these matches was extremely clean. And you know, although we're sad to see Afterglow not quite make it all the way through, I have to say, In Wonderland absolutely deserves keep moving on in this losers bracket, which is looking extremely stacked for a reason. I'm just saying they earned their win today, and congratulations to both teams. They all played perfectly well this series.
Yeah, and Afterglow is going to go on to face Catboy Cafe in the losers semifinals. And then the winner goes on to face the loser of our winners finals. So that's a tall task, because for Afterglow, not only do you have to go against Catboy Cafe, who has 2-0'd their losers bracket opponents twice, who's 2-0'd their opponents twice now, then you'd have to go either against Swag 1, the team that sent you to the losers bracket, or Kunoichi CGL, a team made up entirely of dart monkeys from Calling All Heroes. And those are some scary teams to go against. So you have a lot going against you if you are in Wonderland. You got a mountain to climb and a lot of games between you and any amount of that $500 prize pool.
Right, like if you're in losers bracket, you know, and you've been spared from just absolutely losing, and you know, it's not one of these tournaments in which you lose and you're out. This like extra chance that you're given, it's really good for you. But that means that you're playing tough opponents. Like you're not going against anyone. And like Cowboy Cafe, as you were mentioning, and then the Kunoichi CGL looking like one of the actually went undefeated in the whole round robin stage. So the next opponents are tough. But K-Wing, although they are tough, I think we saw what they are able to do today. They played a really good series. They made it not only exciting, but they made it a statement that they are here to play and they are not going home today. Our tournament keeps on moving. The losers bracket keeps on advancing, and who knows? In a couple of games, we might see them in grand finals, or we might see the run end. That's the nature of tournaments, and that's the nature of Overwatch. So, if you want to keep finding out, you have to keep following the streams and watching these future games.
Yeah, there's only a few games left. This is actually the end of our stream today, as our losers bracket runs have ended, and it does look like we're also done on the mainstream. So it's the end of day 2 for the Kunoichi Overwatch Kickoff, the North American bracket. And we have had some insane play, some great Overwatch, and I am so excited to see this end on the morrow. Biscuit, on the morrow. We've got 3 games left, and if you don't want to miss a single one of them, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, of course, CGL1, but make sure that you go to twitch.tv/KunoichiCGL and that you follow that and hit the notifications so that you don't miss the final 3 games, the winners finals, losers finals, and grand finals, casted by some incredible people and some incredible teams that are looking for their last chance to get into the grands, to get their share of that prize pool. So make sure you don't miss a single moment of the action, because we'll be bringing it to you so shortly tomorrow.
Yeah.